What is up, comic book people, and welcome to another episode of The Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm
This
Tiffany.
is a comic book review show where we meet up about Monday nights weekly to talk about comic books and comic book related media. Here's how the show is going to work, folks. Normally, the way the show works is we start the show with some comic book related news, then we jump into our reviews. Throughout the show, of course, you are invited to / encouraged to use super chats. Now, the reason for that is simple. We don't have a lot of sponsors on the show or channel, and so as a result, the financial responsibilities are entirely on ad revenue, and so the way to offset that is super chats help to sponsor the show as kind of like you're the official sponsor. So it's really your opinions, your thoughts, your desires are influencing the way the show works. So as a result, the infrastructure is supported by those. No requirement to do so, just mentioning that throughout the show you can ask a question or comment. We read it here on the show after all of the reviews have commenced. After the reviews, we pick our book of the week, then we read your comments, and then, of course, we jump into the recommendations for comic book books that are coming out this week, because we put out the show on Mondays, and in 2 days, new books come out. I think that's the way the show works.
Yeah.
So a lot to go to talk about, a lot going on in the comic book media world. People are gearing up for San Diego Comic-Con. A smaller, more localized Comic-Con just ended, Garden State Comic Fest, classic show that we used to support back in the day. I actually was involved a little bit in some of the inner workings for one of the headlining creators there. It was a lot of fun. It was a really exciting time and a weird whirlwind of a Saturday for me.
Yay!
We got a lot else to talk about. The chief among them, for one thing, it's one thing that I really wanted to bring back. What was it called? ComicPop Reacts, but there was no time to do it. But they released a trailer for the Nightfall trilogy of animated movies, and the first one's coming out, and they incorporated Kelly Jones's designs into the overall look of Batman. Looks like a really faithful, if you can measure these things, adaptation of Nightfall, probably the first of any of its type outside of, I think, the novelization, which I think was also written by Denny O'Neil. But yeah, that's coming. It's rated R.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why you'd need to do that, but why not? But, a lot of fun things in there. Azrael, Tim Drake, of course, Asbats, Batman, a lot of Bane.
Yeah.
But trilogy. So, makes sense to me. Knight's Fall, Knight's Quest, Knight's End. Boom. Makes Prince money. Looking forward to seeing it. I look forward to seeing your opinion on the animation, because it looks really good.
Okay.
It looks like a real
I haven't
thing.
seen anything about it.
I know. And I'm hyped to see it. But that's one thing. But it's not, we got a trailer. So all the opinions you can get are from a trailer reaction as opposed to a in-depth analysis and discussion. The other thing that they dropped was that Absolute Batman, a little indie book that not a lot of people are interested in, but it's surprising to me that it's lasted as long as it has. But Absolute Batman is getting a adaptation in the form of a CGI 3D animated series. Scott Snyder will be an executive producer. Nick Dragata will be a producer on the show.
Oh, wow.
And the intention is for it to be out for people to enjoy. I don't really know what else to say about that, but it's just like they're making an Absolute Batman animated series. That's the thing. People are like, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this soon. I saw a lot of people saying that it's kind of soon. Apparently they released a 360 model shown at the Annecy Festival, and Scott Snyder's also gonna be showrunner for the show. So,
great.
That's very exciting for him. No stranger to it as well, because I believe he's one of the top men on the Witches animated adaptation.
Right, so he has experience.
He has some experience in running a line, in curating a universe, and of course in developing a TV adaptation of his work.
Right, and as we know, even if it's an announcement now, it doesn't mean it's coming out. Do we know when it's coming out?
No.
So it's it'll probably take a while.
Oh yeah, probably at least 2 years, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 years between X-Men animated series line seasons.
Yeah, it takes a long time. Animation takes a while.
But this is CG animation, so it'll be a little bit easier.
It still takes a while.
Yeah.
It still takes a while.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes together. But again, some people were saying it's too soon, and I was like, not soon enough, honestly. Not to say that I desperately need comic books to be adapted into something that might be considered a more legitimate media, because that's kind of that's been par for the course ever since TV/movies have deigned to dip their toe in the comic waters is like, oh, they're making a movie. Like, that's the conversation. Anytime that a comic book reaches any kind of critical mass, the question is, when is it going to be a movie? When are we going to get the adaptation?
Right.
Nowadays, it's television, because television is the new movies, because streaming has been, trillions of dollars been invested into it.
Sure.
So, it's kind of dwarfed movies at this point. But, I think that when it comes to this, Absolute Batman is kind of its own animal, but thanks to Absolute Batman, we got the Absolute adaptations. We got arguably one of the best adaptations of Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care about her, and now I do. I stand, that's all I need to say. But Absolute Batman is its own animal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that because of the juggernaut it has become, that you would have expected there to be milking of the cash cow, action figures, statues, everything.
Mm-hmm.
The closest I think we got one of the miniaturized versions of the first volume of every Absolute book, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I know it's at least Absolute Batman, and I think Wonder Woman as well. But and Green Lantern, I remember seeing that one.
Okay.
But yeah, surprisingly conservative in their adaptations. Would you agree? I saw one Iron Studio statue.
Yes.
He got a skin in the Lego Batman movie
or
a game.
Yes.
Game.
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty conservative. I mean,
I agree, but also good for them.
I agree. I agree with that as well.
Either they were struggling to initially get people to take the license on, or they just were holding off.
I think they were holding. I think it was deliberate, because I think anyone would want to, snatch up that license. Although it might have been a situation like K-pop Demon Hunters.
They didn't know how it was was
They didn't know how it was going to hit. They didn't have deals in place, because I don't know if you guys have ever. I don't know if you guys have a kid or a niece, but let me tell you.
Or you just are a fan.
Yeah, or you're a fan, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to buy a friend or loved one some K-pop Demon Hunters merch, right after the movie came out, you couldn't really do it.
No, there was nothing.
Not a lot, if anything. And then
nothing.
And then I think 2 years later, it was like, oh, here's everything. And it's now.
No, it's everywhere. Absolutely.
But Absolute Batman, we're getting a CG show.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that more will follow, but my assumption is just it took time to break through the dam, and now the floodgates are going to open. I assume any day now, McFarlane will release a figure.
Yeah.
Mattel will release a figure, because Mattel got the license from McFarlane, but McFarlane's still making toys up until, I think, the end of the year.
Okay.
So, and I'm shocked that Todd didn't want to make a toy of this immediately. But yeah, to those who say, it's too soon, I think it's a great idea, and I think it is not the kind of premature approach that I would have accused other things, like, for example, Flashpoint or Under the Red Hood,
mm-hmm.
where it was like, man, that feels like it just came out when they made the animated adaptations.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And at least with Under the Red Hood, that was a massive success, and so was Flashpoint. Don't get me wrong, but it did a lot to bring people into the fold and normalize Jason Todd's Red Hood in the hearts and minds of some might call them LARPers, tourists, or casuals. I just call them comic fans now, because if they just read the books, then you're welcome to the fold, man. You're reading comics.
Mm-hmm,
as long as you're reading the comics, then I don't care what the hell you do with it outside of reading them.
Agreed.
But this is great, and also it speaks to the origins. Absolute Batman is clearly steeped in the Eastern approach to comic books,
mm-hmm.
aka manga
mm-hmm.
and anime. And
mm-hmm.
if you think it's fast that after 30 issues of Absolute Batman, they made an animated adaptation, I cite the legions of anime out there that were coming out.
One of my favorites.
One of your favorites.
Yeah.
They were making the show faster than they could make the manga.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they just make shit up.
They made there's a whole nother arc that
there's a whole arc that doesn't exist in the manga in Sailor Moon.
Yep. Just to give her time.
To give her time to make more manga, which I don't think she was planning on doing in the first place. But it was just it was so successful. How could you say no? And of course, she had new ideas. It's not but oh,
absolutely.
But look, if the first season of this show is just the first 6 to 12 issues, I mean, Okay.
Right.
Then what? 2 years later, they'll get the next 15? Oh, well, we'll still be ahead.
Sure. Yes.
So I think it's a fantastic idea. And I think it's a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only hope and pray that it is a sign of things to come. Because Absolute Wonder Woman is right there. I mean, we've been pitching for years the idea that they should just make Absolute Wonder Woman the DCU Wonder Woman. I don't think she'd fit really well with with what James Gunn's been doing with his universe. It's clearly steeped in like 80s and stuff like that. But I love we love Absolute Wonder Woman so much. It's like, well, just do whatever you can with her. Give me a toy, give me a statue, give me a show, give me a movie. Go, give me more.
Yeah.
But I would hope that Absolute Wonder Woman is next. Absolute Superman lends himself, I think, to a kind of serialized story structure, like a show. But I think they might condense it a little more.
Yeah.
Just to make sure people stick around.
Possibly. We'll see. Oh, they might have some. Scott might have some ideas. Nick might have some.
Oh yeah.
Ideas to throw in there for Batman, and then for Wonder Woman. Who knows what they'll do?
It's true.
But this wasn't the only animation stuff, right? There was also not Absolute, right? There was like a Conan.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention that there is going to be a Conan series from Jenny Tartakovsky.
Crazy.
It's going to be out.
Weird.
For, Cartoon Network and Prime Video. Yeah, it would be if you are not familiar with the. Oh, I should get rid of this guy. With the massive push that Conan has been getting over the last couple of years. Jim Zub at the fore, developing the Conan series, I believe Titan, and just another decision. And I think it's a fantastic one. Conan, of course, famously 2 animated series already for children's animation on regular TV, mostly action figure commercials.
But this is a Tartakovsky one, so it'll be.
Oh my god! Well, if you're not familiar with the show Primal, that's currently out on Adult Swim, that's also from Tartakovsky. Is also clearly steeped in inspiration from the Chimerian age. So it makes sense to me that they're going to be doing this. And I think for Robert E. Howard fans, it's going to be exciting. The dude behind Samurai Jack is going to do a friggin' show based on Conan.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense to me. Also, Arnold is jacking up, so to speak, to be prepared for King Conan.
Is he doing that?
Yes.
Someone in the chat mentioned, I wonder what the Bard thinks of this.
Oh, Conan. One can only hope for the best. I mean, I would hope for a video from the Bard.
Oh, me too.
I believe he streams video games. Check him out.
Yeah.
Ask him. But I mean, makes sense to me. This is the dude, man. When you get Tartakovsky on your team, I mean, great things can happen.
Hopefully.
Or you're George Lucas and you make it not continuity anymore for some reason, despite it being the visual and tonal inspiration for your entire new universe.
Right.
Because, like, if you don't remember that amazing Clone Wars cartoon, the only thing from the prequels that I actually like, visual inspiration for the CG show. Yep. All the voice work is from them. The tone, the depiction of clone troopers, hell, the origin of Grievous, which I think they retconned out. All this great stuff. And then they went, oh, yeah, no, that didn't happen. Or it's not quite like that. I'm like, that's the only thing I liked.
Right.
But this dude, yeah, I'll be watching. So will you.
Yes, absolutely.
No doubt. So, yeah, that's the animation corner, I guess, of comics.
Absolutely.
Exciting. Let us know what you think about these adaptations and what you hope to see from them in the future in the comments. If you're catching this as a Tuesday Warrior, what that means basically, this is a show that's live on Monday nights around 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, PM that is. But of course, it's an evergreen show. It's a lot of fun, lots of laughs and deep dives into comics. So if you catch the show on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever, who cares? It's all green, baby.
Absolutely.
So where do you want to go from here? Do you want to talk about the movie, or do you want to talk about some comics and then get into the movie? I think we should do some comics just to get people like kind of gearing up for the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, because the movie's the big topic.
Okay, let's do that.
Unless you disagree.
Nope. Let's do it.
Well, then pick a book.
I don't know.
All right. Well. I read Swamp Thing 89 number 3.
Okay.
I was behind. I had to read issue 2 and then get on to issue 3. This continues to be steeped in 80s Vertigo inspiration / a relic of that time. And let me tell you something. This was just reading a Vertigo book from back in the day, to the point where like Constantine shows up.
Of course.
Major stuff. But also, obviously, written by Rick Veitch with art by Tom Mandrake. The last 2 issues have been dealing with, Swamp Thing bumbling through time and space, and finding his place in the world or in the universe, and also Veitch doing some world building and integration of this like adult oriented Vertigo stuff into the like main DC Prime universe. Jason Blood, no, I thought it was Jason Blood. It was actually the Spectre. Was given an opportunity to kind of like separate himself from the Spectre himself, and Constantine gave him a solid and like separated the host from the Spectre, so they could like hook up with a sex worker. It was very interesting and very weird. That was, I think, in issue 2. Issue 3 is much more like Abby looking for Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing kind of like developing this. Also the Fourth World is involved. The Source finds Swamp Thing, and so the Source starts talking to Swamp
That's funny.
I know. Why is that funny? Because this week on Back Issues, you'll see Tiffany is jumping on, and so that means we're going to jump right back into the John Byrne era of Man of Steel / Superman, and we had a lengthy discussion about Highfather's relation to the Source and his Source wall, lowercase w, but still uppercase Source. But yeah, if you like 80s comics, if you like Vertigo, if you love Swamp Thing, this is a can't miss series. It's also just like a great little reminder of what comics can be, particularly DC comics, and what I think of when I think of like innovative DC comics. Where do you want to go from here?
I'll talk about my 2 indie books kind of back to back here. Just want to really quickly mention I had a chance to grab Twilight Zone number 8. This time written and drawn by Gabriel Hardman.
Oh wow,
gorgeous looking.
Yeah,
just gorgeous looking. Obviously this is the IDW series that takes the license of Twilight Zone and has created a series of individual issues that mimic individual episodes of the Twilight Zone series. So what you'll get in these are individual one and done stories, either by a writer artist duo or by a single person who does a little bit of both or does everything essentially. All black and white,
of course.
To mimic the black and white
classic
nature.
Twilight Zone.
Yes. And they're all very different in terms of not only the subject material, but also the tone in which they're being told. Twilight Zone had a lot of different story styles, from being super bleak to being maybe a little bit funny to being, sad or horrific, or even at sometimes like funny, hopeful and happy. Okay. And that's actually what this one kind of is, where you don't see it coming, but it ends up being really nice. It's about old Hollywood. There's an actor who was part of a B movie and thought he was too good for that, realized what it was in the middle of it, decided that he was gonna just make it as like corny and dumb as possible to punish them for it. He hated everybody he was working with, and that really screwed him. Because like he didn't put in a good performance, even with something that was so trite.
Right.
And so everyone was just like, well, you're a really horrible actor. And so he never really went anywhere.
His career because he was so petty.
Exactly. And so like in his Twilight years, he is now like going to like talks where people will like look at his bad movies and then like ask him things like how, did you know it was gonna be that bad when you did it? Blah blah blah, all that stuff.
Sure.
But he does it to get by because he has no other way of income, and this involves a bit of time travel shenanigans in which he gets an opportunity as an old man to warn himself.
That's cool.
And how like he ends up changing for the better.
Yeah,
it actually is very interesting the way in which it goes. I really enjoyed this. The art for it I thought was spectacular.
Yeah,
like just really spectacular, because it's so funny because Hardman has such like a grim gritty style,
yes,
but it really worked for the story he told. So really enjoyed this issue.
I love that.
I also read Red Roots this week. Red Roots number 3. This is a book that I'm like, what is this? Every week I've talked about this for the past 2 issues. I'm like, what is this book? What am I doing? Why am I reading it? And it's because it's super engaging. This is written and drawn by Lorenzo Di Felici. I don't know what to tell you about this. I really don't. Like, I don't know how to describe this book other than like take 2 people, take 2 human beings, take them out of their like typical environment and throw them somewhere that's like a crazy like sci-fi fantasy kind of John Carter-esque environment.
Okay.
Right? Where it's like, look at all of this, like these aliens or beings or peoples I don't know, right? And this like rich world that they live in, where all these like you're just thrown into the middle of it.
Yeah, well, like them.
Exactly. This issue, like I had to go back and get the pages. I was like, this was so fast. But it's just I was so interested in this issue in particular. There was a lot of action in this one too. But like I have to at least read this through the first arc.
Yes.
I like what is going on. I don't know.
It's interesting because the way you're saying it, you're kind of keeping it at arm's length. It's not like it's grabbed me and I'm in wholesale. It's like I'm intrigued. I'm fascinated.
I have to know where this is going.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like something's gonna drop at some point. And then I'll be like,
and then you'll know whether you're in or out.
Exactly. Like I can't tell if I'm in because I'm in and invested in these characters and the world, or if I'm in because I just need to know what this is about. You know, I also appreciate that one of the variant covers has a Maxian homage to it.
That's absolutely a Max reference. Nice. That's really sweet.
So,
you know, apropos of Image, we had a recommendation from a trusted source that suggested that you check out the Eye Collector.
I almost picked that up, but I was like, I can't.
They really wanted to know what your opinions were on it, and I thought I'll mention it. You know, just
I saw that last week, and I was just like, is it another sci-fi book? Because I wasn't sure I was looking for another sci-fi book, but if it has horror at all,
I don't know. I assume based on the name.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought about grabbing that, so I will do that.
Cool.
I will grab it right now, actually.
Okay. Looks like we lost connection or something. We'll have to see.
Oh, did we? Look, I think
it threw up like a error message. So
we'll just hang on for a second.
Yeah.
And perhaps our moderator extraordinaire can let us know,
right, if
we are doing okay. If we're still live and ready to talk more about comic books. And
it looks like we're live.
Oh, excellent. So I love that for us.
All right, fantastic. So moving right along, happy to see that. I have Superman, the Father of Tomorrow from Kenny Porter and Danny Earls. This is the Elseworld series where Jor-El is the last survivor of Krypton, not his son. And so he's like super scientist supreme. The idea of the story / this issue is that Jor-El, you know, he arrived on Earth as a fully adult doctor,
right?
So or scientist, really, but you know, whatever the Kryptonian equivalent thereof is. But yeah, so he was like, I want to save this world. He still lands among the Kents. The Kents just kind of like give him a place to stay as opposed to raise him.
Right.
But they acclimate him to Terran lifestyle. And so he ends up like sharing his technology, the Kryptonian technology that he helped kind of innovate, with Earth. And so we get to see 20 years later the like present day of Earth, but with the 20-year influence of a fully adult Superman, maybe not necessarily capital S, though I believe he is Superman in this universe, influence on the world. One of them is he became kind of a father figure to Lois Lane. Another is he became kind of a father figure to Lex Luthor. And so with Lois at one end and Lex on the other, Jor's ability to like influence the trajectory of humanity has been strong and ever present, though it's not without its struggles. One of them is that he's not necessarily embraced by the superhero community. They seem kind of like resentful or covetous of him, and he's like, you know, I can hear you. I can hear all of you like, all the time, and it really hurts my feelings that you feel this way. And it's more just he's constantly kind of just wondering, am I doing enough? It's very Superman. Like, have I done enough? And also, more importantly, I've done all this stuff, and yet it hasn't solved every problem. You know, just because I have shared all my technology, and I'm also using my extraordinary powers to help people, I still don't know if I'm really making a difference. Because, you know, I'll improve the drinking water or maglev trains or whatnot, but there's still supervillainy, and Gotham is in a weird place, and like they'll reverse engineer my, you know, crop expanding tools into weaponry, and even Lex is at the fore of this, being like, we should do this. Like if they're gonna do it anyway, we should do it first, and we should have like safeguards in place. And Jor's like, no, we just should do the right thing for doing the right thing's sake. And that plus Lex Luthor's back dealings cause a rift between what would be a like surrogate father and son, and so Lex ends up going to maybe less traditional means to seek out his unwarranted and trite revenge against Superman. This time, perhaps seeking out someone on the other side of the aisle from science. That's all I'll say about that.
Okay.
Danny Earls is doing the art on this one. There's some spectacular sequences. I love the design for Jor-El. Also, the idea of like a metropolis truly being the city of tomorrow is fantastic. A couple of people a little wonky sometimes, but it's still telling you a story that I feel just really stands on its own 2 feet and represents kind of like the true spirit of Elseworlds that I remember when I was a kid. Really, really fun stuff. Jam-packed, lot going on, and a lot of world building. So if you dig this, if you dig this idea, you might check out.
Okay, excellent.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's more. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
Like for example, I read Ultimate Endgame number 5. This was the end. The last chapter.
Okay.
Of the Ultimate Universe,
yes.
Or so you thought, until another book came out that is truly the last chapter of the Ultimate Universe.
Yes.
For now, this issue sees like the final battle between the Maker and his creations, so to speak, or at the very least the people that he manipulated into the status quo that they live in now. This is done by multiple teams, though the writing is still by Dennis Camp. The art is by Jonas Scharf and Terry Dodson. We see this book is a complete and utter mess, and I don't know if like Dennis Camp was like, I don't know if it was the scope, interference, or just being not suited best for this whole endeavor, but this universe will go down in history as a fumbled bag, and unfortunately Camp is the one who has to be left with the check, because he's the one who started taking over the universe and directing it in the direction it's going in when Hickman passed it off. I'm sure that a lot of blame will be lobbed at Hickman for just leaving anyway.
Sure.
But you know, the party line of this like always having been a 2-year experiment and it was always being planned on that, total lies. There's no effing way. Allegedly, there's no way that this was the place. We watch as like the Maker, you know, he turned himself into a tree, and the city itself, and the superheroes are fighting him, and he's making little versions of himself, just like Iron Lad is. Just he murders Peter Parker earlier. He murders actually no, he doesn't kill Captain America. Captain Britain kills Captain America, and because you know we don't need a Captain America. That's silly. And so it's just very like it's very sloppy. You know, in the end, I mean, at the core, there's a book where a bunch of superheroes fight the bad guy and ultimately win.
Right.
And if you were following Doom's story, you know, he may get what he was hoping for. If you were following the Ultimates and then dovetailing into this, maybe it'll be more satisfying. I myself wasn't a fan of the Ultimates book at all, so it wasn't like it was better. The only change was that I'm trying to even remember who it was, but there was a character who right before they die or disappear or like sacrifice themselves, they make one final decision, and it's to resurrect Peter Parker.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And he didn't know him at all. But yeah, he was just like, it sucks that Peter died, so he gets to come back. And now I leave you. Poof. And so Peter shows up, and they're like, what? And the internet was like, why didn't you bring back Captain America? You knew him. And it's like, because Camp wants to say something about Captain America's Doom. Thank you. I'm like, did Doom even meet Peter? But yeah, it was just like, because, you know, the last moments are like, watch as the Ultimates like wrest control of the universe from, or of their Earth's trajectory from the Maker, who has been annihilated and blown into a bazillion pieces that they're constantly looking for and destroying. And then there's a tease about the last scrap of the Maker being collected by one character, and it may or may not be related to what's going on in the current status quo of the Marvel Universe, but we'll deal with that later. For now, it's just, I don't want to spoil everything. I'm just saying.
Sure.
Even though I spoiled that Peter Parker came back, but I think another book we're going to talk about would
was
also spoil
already
that.
going to do that. I was like, what?
But it's just a lot of like, oh, so why did you do that? Like, why did you kill him earlier just so that Doom could hand wavily bring him back? Like, was that? And it's so hard to like extricate like creator from creation. Like, did Camp do that because he was always planning on doing that? Like, did he want to like troll people by like having people react to Peter's death earlier only to undo it? Or was he reacting to the audience and going, oh, I guess I won't kill Peter? Like, but because there is no definitive word on the subject, I'm sure there'll be a podcast one day, you know, we're left only to kind of like base our own opinions from what we can extricate from the story.
Right.
You know, and then it wraps up with like the Ultimates kind of like fulfilling their promise of helping to guide humanity on the path towards the future. Obviously, America is no more, so Captain America shouldn't be dead, shouldn't be alive anyway. Like, he's a relic. He doesn't represent anything pure good or you know, something to aspire to. We're trying to do something new here. There's no room for old crap or Cap for that matter. So
I appreciate your cynical take on this. I am wondering if it was more that in the original Ultimate Universe, who died?
Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be that they're like, Camp's like, I don't want to do that again. Like, I'm going to make you think
well,
I'm doing that again.
Be able to satisfactorily do it,
but I'm not going to leave that character dead because we did that. I'm going to swish it where it's like, well, instead this character dies.
Right. It's just weird because like no one, like I think one person is like, what? Like Cap's dead? No.
Right.
That's it. And then it finally ends in an audacious Hickman-esque graphic that says the Ultimate Universe will return.
That's what the other one ends with.
And I was like, how dare you?
It's not a Hickman-esque. It's what's his name?
Oh yeah, that's right. His guy.
I can't remember his name.
But yeah, that's right. No, I'm sorry. It was in yours. I got them confused because I put them both out at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll never remember the title.
What a whimper.
Oh, that's a shame.
This whole universe kind of ended on, except that it didn't, because there's another book that came out.
By the way, really quickly, I want to say I did actually purchase the Eye Collector from Comixology. Yeah. And I just downloaded it. I just kind of flipping through it.
Sure.
Art looks crazy.
Yeah.
Looks really insane.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of some of like the end bits from Evangelion in a way where it's like just you like from not having read it, from just kind of going through really quickly without going to the end because I don't want to know what happens at the end of this issue. Yeah. Looks really cool. I'm looking forward to reading it. Again, art's insane. Love it.
Sure.
Very limited color palette. Anyway, let's go.
Ultimate Universe finale.
Yeah.
Man, this is an end.
Yes.
If you have to have one, which you absolutely didn't. This is written and drawn by the following creators: Peach Momoko, Brian Hill, Chris Condon, Dennis Camp, Jonathan Hickman, Travis Laham, Alessandro Capuccio, Juan Frigeri, and more.
Whoa, hang on. You can't just say and more. You got to get everybody.
Okay, well, it doesn't list everybody.
I have everybody. I just have to get to the end of the book because I usually favorite the last page. So it's Hickman and Kinketto for Spider-Man. It's Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli for Black Panther. Ultimate Wolverine is Chris Condon and Alessandro Capuccio. Yep. Ultimate's Dennis Camp and Juan Frigeri. Mm-hmm. And then Ultimate X-Men Peach Momoko.
This gives everyone a chance to say goodbye when they probably weren't planning on saying goodbye in the original series they were writing and drawing. Originally.
Yes.
Of course, comic book fans being what they are, the first 5 pages of the book were spoiled on the internet the day the book came out. The day before the book came out.
Right.
So no surprises there for anybody who is online who might have noticed that like Ultimate Spider-Man didn't die, because they might not have read Ultimate Endgame. But
right.
also,
I mean, you could have conceivably thought that this was not
a flashback book.
Yes,
absolutely.
That this was like another point in time.
Yeah, which would have been even worse. This is great. Wonderful little sequence where it shows like, okay, so Pete's back.
Yes.
And he comes home to his family and he gets to keep being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, he goes on a little adventure while like we watch the book that would have been and would have outsold Amazing Spider-Man every month, which was a married Spider-Man with kids and watching that lifestyle. Like we'll look at MJ having a parent-teacher conference that's supposed to be with Peter, but Peter's late, so Peter ends up getting there and he screws it up because he's, he is without tact.
But like she's not mad at him.
No, she's mad at.
They're both mad at the teacher.
They're both mad at the teacher for being an idiot,
for not being
and losing their daughter.
Right.
And so the question is, what's going on with May? And I thought it was going to be another reveal. But So
I knew where this was going.
Right,
what did you think it was?
I don't know. I thought maybe she got special powers, but then I remember that he got his powers afterwards anyway.
Yes.
But they go home. They run into Richard. Like we really don't need to focus on like Uncle Ben, Jonah, or anybody.
No, it's just the family. Yeah,
just the Parker family. And so except for Ben. But watch as they talk to Richard. Richard explains where Felicia is, and that they're still like in a kind of relationship of some kind.
Yes.
And that
he's becoming more of a teenager too.
is.
Like, Peter's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm playing video
games.
I'm trying it out."
Yeah.
And like, he's like, "Oh.
Uh-oh. May has the suit.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, okay.
It's kind of cute.
It's cute. I was like, what's happening?
It's kind of cute.
And Hickman's like, you'll never know what's happening.
That's right. That's correct.
But it's just like the adventures will continue.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes. Here's what I thought was interesting about this. Like, I thought this was great. I immediately, like, at first I actually was like, I'm like, oh, it's Coquetto. And then I'm like, is it?
Right.
And then I was like, no, it is.
No, it is.
Like, some of, like, I feel like this book was hastily put together.
This is a reaction.
There's no way on the art side, almost as though they were like, writers, if you have any more story, get it going.
And the artists were like,
we're going to go with the people who were the artists supposedly on the book the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, so here your pages go. Right? Because like even Black Panther, like the first page, I was like, oh, it was a little weak, but the rest of it, I was like, oh, there he is.
Yes.
Oh, there he is.
So I didn't read Black Panther or X-Men because those are your books.
Yeah,
I didn't want to read the last thing that they'll ever do.
Fine, that's fair. Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli back for one more Black Panther story. I was like, what are we going to talk about? Where are we going to go with this, right?
Yeah.
And we're just going to talk about, like, because like obviously when I last left Black Panther, which was at the end of the series, I didn't end up reading Endgame. I just was like,
you were fine.
I was there to read their stories.
Their story, the Black Panther story, not to watch him look at things in Endgame.
Right, and
he doesn't do anything in the book.
That's fair. But we left Black Panther. He had the bad vibranium, the dark vibranium in his blood, and he knew he was dying.
Right. You're like, where's that going?
Right, and obviously, he's taking care of Wakanda. Like, he's kind of gotten things back together. He has stayed with Okoye, like stayed with his wife. But obviously he and Storm have a lot of chemistry.
Right.
So anyway, it's this whole like conversation between he and Storm.
Okay.
In which
great.
like he's like talking about how he's just like, I know I'm dying. Every day I test my blood, I do a hypothesis to see what's going on, and it's
not good.
Here's what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of death,
right?
But I'm afraid of what happens to the people I care about and the place I love after I'm gone. Right? Like he's just afraid that like things will just fall apart.
Sure.
Which is like a very interesting take on him, right? Because it's like anyone else who says that could be conceived of as being like
a narcissist or just trying to control everything.
Right, but I think it's more or less like things have been so tumultuous as of late. Like I just need to make sure that like things are okay.
Yeah.
But he also realizes that the dark vibranium has like a sentience to it.
And
he's like, if it has some sort of sentience to it, that means it can fear.
Right.
He's like, so I want to give it something to be afraid of. And that's where you come in, Storm.
What?
Yeah. So first he asks her to give her something like what is she hopeful for in their lands?
Yeah.
Like what gives you hope? Because it's like also we want to be like, what's Shuri doing? Well, Shuri kind of like he felt like she needed to like redeem herself.
Okay.
And so there's like a school, and it's like it's doing really well, and she's teaching at this school, and like that's what gives Aurora hope, is that like children will not have to endure what she went through.
Right.
And I'm like, that's cool.
That's great.
Right? Cool. Awesome. Love that. So he's like, all right, we got to go to the plains. They go to the plains, and that's when they have another conversation, which is about the two of them.
Yes.
Right? In which, like he's like, I wanted to be away from the kingdom when we did this, just in case something happened.
Okay.
Rather like, if I died, like I don't want them to necessarily see that.
Okay.
Right. But she's like, oh, I thought you just wanted to get me alone, like as a joke. And he was just like, it's really hard being with you. Let's be honest. Like,
because we do have such a connection.
Yeah. And like he's like, I want you to like take me up in the air. And essentially the idea is like, he wants her to make the dark vibranium afraid of her power.
Right. So it's like when you're done with me, you'll have her to contend with.
Right. Or like if you don't back off or like give me the time I need.
Yes.
She will take us all out.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And so like they're up there and like they're floating in the air, and like they do have this moment where he's just like, if it was a different time and I had different responsibilities. And she's like, I get it. She's like, but this is the time we have, and these are the responsibilities that we have. And so they embrace and they kiss, and then there's just lightning and thunder, and comes down, and she's like, you okay? And he's like, yep, I'm good. Like, I think they got the message.
Oh,
and he's
okay.
like, let's go give this land more hope. And I'm like, oh, I want the rest of this
Yeah,
book.
but that is a nice button.
It is a nice button. It is definitely a nice button, but I'm just like, it was like I had like mourned it. I had like let it go, and then it
gave you a
came
little
back.
more. But
and
isn't that
I was
nice?
like,
Does that feel rewarding that you got a little bit more?
It is a little bit more.
And it's not terrible.
It was no, of course not. He'll really.
I just mean like, it could have been.
Oh, sure.
Someone else could have done it.
Oh yeah.
Hill's like, no, I said the last. You made me write the last issue. I'm not going to write anymore.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that Hill and Caselli were the ones who put their final stamp on this. But I'm like, oh, to have this series, I would love it.
Oh, I should say, Ultimate Spider-Man, I did like it.
Oh yeah,
I was very happy with what we got.
Yes.
It was nice to see a little more. Ultimate Wolverine.
Oh,
great.
Well, it's not the next one.
Oh no, what was the next one?
Ultimate X-Men.
Oh yeah, that's right.
First of all, it's always a delight to see to enter into Peach's artistic vision.
Yes.
The first page, I loved it so much. Like just almost didn't recognize like her work for a second, but was immediately knew it was her work.
Sure.
But just was so different, right?
Mm-hmm.
The story she's telling us is kind of Japan's reaction
to their existence.
To the mutants, right? And the fact that the government is clearly trying to make it a bigger thing and doing a registration act.
Oh no!
Which would force microchipping of mutants.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's like what? That's worse.
Yeah. But that's also just such a definitively X-Men concept. Here it is.
Yeah.
Here's where we would have gone with it, maybe.
Yep. And so what they've created is something called the Mutant Restraint Force, the MRF.
Okay.
And their whole thing is they're gonna crack down. They're like sentinels. They're gonna go find the mutants, except there's not enough of them.
Right.
So essentially they have these big weapons that are like they have nets. They're net launchers, and the idea is like if you get one on a mutant, it'll like knock them out.
Okay.
And then they can find out.
Sure. And then they can dissect you and
whatever.
Steal your powers.
But because of the fact that there is just shortage of MRF agents, they give civilians the guns to do this, right? These net launchers.
Yeah.
And of course the question is that's like, but how do you know?
Right. How would you know?
So what ends up happening is the MRF is like, here you go, you take care of it, then let us know. We'll figure out if it was a mutant or a human. Ugh. And if it was a human, that was your fault.
Right. Then you'll be prosecuted.
No, I just blame you and I leave.
Exactly.
That wasn't my fault. That was your fault. Yeah. I was like,
so there's no incentive for me to do this.
Except that some people are afraid.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, great.
Like they're trying to stir up
loaded weapons to people who are like deeply afraid and xenophobic.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like we check in with a family who kind of gives us a breakdown of that because they have them. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
yeah.
And then they see outside this older guy and he has it. He's carrying it around and he's like patrolling the neighborhood, right? Yeah, and again, like Peach's style for this, it's like it's so interesting because it's like I don't know if it's because she knew it was shorter, so she just put it like it's just it looks so
very different,
but it looks so good. Yeah. But he hears like he's got a walkie-talkie. He hears this like, oh, they heard like a mutant attack of a civilian like nearby. So he goes running over there. The family's like, oh no, let's go after him. They bring their net launcher too, and they do see a mutant, and like her powers have activated, and they're frightening looking. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she's frightening. Right. It's just scary looking
because it's different,
right? Yeah. And like the older man recognizes immediately. They're like, wait, that's like that's so and so's like Miss Taguchi's daughter.
Okay.
Like,
right, this is a person you know.
Right, but it's also like, get away from your mom, like, because he doesn't know what to do. And so he goes to fire it. And that's, of course, when Maystorm shows up and kicks the net launcher out of his hand. The other family tries like, oh, I'll help you. Because like they're like, they're swept up in it, right? Which is why this is a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly.
They, of course, accidentally like hit the old man with the net instead, right? The MRF shows up.
Oh, sure.
Maystorm's like, come with us. The rest of the crew shows up. They're helping out. They get away. And essentially, they're like, hey, like, Michan, like, are you worried about your mom? That's the girl whose powers had activated or, like, seemed to be attacking her mother, but probably was not really.
Right.
She's like, no. And like, all right, cool. Like, here's the thing. If you get caught by those losers, like, it's game over. We're the secret society X-Men. And we know someone who helps people like us.
Oh.
Like, want to come with us? And that was the end of it. I'm like,
what? Who was that?
I don't know. I don't know. But that is Peach to a T where she's just like, I mean, I could write more.
Yeah. Well, there's always time.
There's always more. freaking loved it. It looked so good.
Yeah.
Again, once we see the characters like that we're used to, it kind of shifts back to the style of the X-Men book.
Yeah.
But I love what she did in this.
Yeah.
You know, the color palette in this book is gorgeous.
Yes.
Like, it's just like her issue's so stunning looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But also, this is another one where I was like,
I want more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone mentioned.
Was that nice to get a little extra?
It was.
Like, these are the ones where I was like, you know, they made books essentially just for you, and it was sad to see them end and be wrenched from you because they were artificially replaced.
Yeah.
But it's rare to get a little extra.
It is.
Especially when it's like, it's not like, oh, we brought her back to do a little mini series and maybe there'll be more if it sells well. Like, no, it's just like, they're written deliberately to be kind of like a either teaser or ending.
And you don't have to spend like time acclimating people to it. It's just, there it is.
Yeah. And who cares if it doesn't sell? It's the first and only issue. It's a little collection of everything. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, because they could have been one last issue, except for the fact that I'm sure, like you said, the artists wouldn't have been able to catch up. It's just like, it wouldn't have been appropriate.
Well, this was like 11 pages for her, but again, like she's
a mangaka artist. She's like, I can do more. They're like, no, we need those pages.
I can do the rest of them.
Yeah, I know. I'll do the rest. I'll do the
other issues.
I'll do the Wolverine one.
Yeah. But yeah, so good.
Ultimate Wolverine was also great.
Yes.
Sorry,
I was just reading. Someone was like Emma Frost, perhaps. I was like, ooh,
yeah, they'll be fine. You'll never find out.
Yeah.
Capuccio. We still don't know where Capuccio's going, I don't think.
No, I had no idea.
And he
put him on everything.
He's great. This looked good, but he wasn't like, okay. Like,
no, but he
just delivered a lovely sequence.
I would say he was and it wasn't. I feel like I love Capuccio doing everything. Capuccio doing snow sequences.
Oh yeah, well that's what Wolverine is. Wolverine, like, the image of Wolverine in a Winter Soldier mask in the snow is the book.
In
like,
the
that's
snow,
Ultimate Wolverine.
big, tall, evergreen trees.
Yes.
Like Capuccio just sings there, sings there.
Wilderness.
But what does this issue do? It does exactly what I had asked when this book ended, where I was just like, I really enjoyed this book a lot, but it felt like it left some dangling threads, and one of them was Sabretooth. We never circled back around. I was like, maybe there's just no story to tell.
Oh, there is.
And Condon's like, hang on, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So here's what happens to Sabretooth. And then Wolverine and Jean come back. Spoilers for Endgame, they make it. And they're just like, hey. And Wolverine's
it's so funny for me, because Endgame is not a thing.
Right. For you, you're just like, it just dovetails right out of Wolverine.
Literally. I was like, I don't know what happened over there. So I'm just reading this like, this is just a follow-up.
The rest.
Yes.
Yeah. Jean is like, I'm gonna be an X-Man. Like, I'm gonna do X-Men stuff. I'm gonna protect people. I'm gonna help them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off. And Wolverine's like, and I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah.
Which I earned.
I'm gonna take a second.
And it's like, that's nice.
That's so.
Like, and I wanted to go to Vic's house.
This is potentially the most mentally healthy Wolverine we've ever met.
Yeah. Well,
who does all this stuff. He goes through it. Then he's like, instead of just pushing forward, maybe I should just take a second
and just reevaluate. Like, look at take inventory.
Like, just take some downtime. Not because I'm afraid I'm going to hurt someone,
no,
or because I'm fleeing from something. No, because I just need.
Because I recognize.
I just need a second.
It turns out if you spend extended time with a telepath god, maybe you'll have better mental health.
Right.
It helps to tame you. But yeah, so Wolverine.
I was also so afraid for this that they were going to make it that, like, remember I was like, Sabretooth was like, what did Sabretooth like sell them out?
Right.
But
no, he's what he presents himself as. And
yes.
He's created a haven and he's taking care of these kids, and so Wolverine will help him out.
Yep. Did you not love that last page dialogue though?
Yeah, it was great.
Where it's like, it's Wolverine's birthday.
Yes. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what a great reference. Yeah, Wolverine and Sabretooth they're on his birthday.
Yeah, but Sabretooth's like, oh,
right. I forgot it was your birthday. It's great. It was such a great little sequence.
Yes. This was I loved all the little buttons. This was an excellent button.
In the last volume of all the books, they need to put these in there.
Yes.
So it really does feel like a conclusion.
Yes.
Yeah. Good Sabretooth without any provisions or asterisks.
Yes.
Great one.
100%.
Ultimates I didn't read. And that's it.
Yeah, but if you had read, and again, if you had read Ultimate X-Men, Black Panther, or Wolverine in particular, and were like, I really miss this These were great.
Yeah.
It was great to just kind
Also
of
Spider-Man too.
dip our toe back on the wall. I know, but like a lot of people felt like really weird about Ultimate Spider-Man just in general.
Black Panther, Ultimate X-Men, and Wolverine, those were their own things.
Yeah.
And they were definitively their own things.
Yes.
And it was nice to see them be given their flowers.
Yes.
So yeah, massive success.
Yeah, 100%.
Ultimate Universe, baby. What else did you read?
What else did I read?
We got a couple of other things. We got like, I don't know if you read Z or Ab Soups.
Oh, I did, of course, read Z.
Okay, well, let's talk about Z then.
Let's do it. I don't know why I let me out of my comic book. This is Zatanna, written by, I'm like trapped in the Ultimate Universe.
Ironic.
This is Zatanna number 3, written and drawn by Jamal Campbell. Man, last issue Zatanna got shot.
Oh no.
And it was like, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
And in this one, we deal with like her being healed. And we get a little bit more information about the sort of antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call an antagonist that isn't really an antagonist, but they're a thorn in your side?
Right, exactly. Yeah. I don't know what the sanction term is. But there is, but it's a trope enough to exist.
Yeah, but like ancient domains, it has been a real issue, and always, seems to have that like redacted looking face.
Yeah.
We learned in this issue he is the redacted face.
Oh,
and can go on other people.
Oh no.
I was like, what? What? So we're gonna be dealing with that. I can't wait to find out how we're dealing with it.
Sure.
Additionally, we kind of closed out remember the being that was taking like people, especially singers, and then making their heads into a flower, and then it turns out
no.
Oh, okay. That's what's been going on.
No, I don't remember.
Like
that.
It was like,
I'm sorry.
There was like a being that was like tearing through places and like turning people into these like things that would then like spread that. It was a whole thing, right? And then it turns out what it was a muse. Who's the artist who they were the muse for had died.
Oh.
And then we find out what happened in this. And how do we find out? Well, Zatanna goes to the Hades and she talks to Persephone. And I'm going to screw up the name. It's totally fine. Nimosin.
Okay.
And basically, I don't want to spoil it, but it's so clever.
Well, they do a really clever device.
Clever
tell me after the
as to why the muse is the way it is and why the muse can't remember. So clever. Love it.
Yes.
And Zatanna wants to help them after she's been healed. How is she healed? Well, Elodie, the ghost.
Yes.
And Papa Midnight.
Okay.
Utilize Papa Midnight's voodoo magics, which is done in a really beautiful set of pages. Like the first page just sets us up for the like, oh yeah, she was shot. And then like just a whole bunch of folks showing up to help Papa Midnight make this happen.
Yes.
We get to see Papa Midnight utilize his magic in that way.
Okay.
It is so interesting because it's like it's really well done. There are people in this who are like, I can't tell if it's just people that Campbell knows. They're not specific. They're unique, but like in a way where I'm just like, that's so well done.
Right.
But I'm like, I wonder if it's like also people that he knows. I don't know. But they're not like, it's not like oh, like
no,
that's
not
like
jarring.
No, it's definitely
like,
not.
Oh, you're just drawing people you know.
Additionally, there's this gorgeous 2-page splash that he does,
yeah,
in which it's just it's like a Redondian set of motion,
yeah,
just done a very different way.
Cool,
right? Where it's showing the transition from the ceremony that's going on in the real world as she is being like carried by 2 people, like they have like one arm over each of them,
yeah,
and then like pushed into like the like voodoo magic world.
Interesting. Okay.
Really well done, and also really highlighted for me something I hadn't really thought about, which is how well Jamal Campbell captures motion.
Yes.
He just has such a flair for being able to capture the human body in motion.
Right.
So you know exactly how it feels, the weight of it. Just really spectacular.
Cool.
And so Zatanna goes and speaks with the Loa.
Oh yes.
Right. They have a name. I could try, but I don't want to insult.
Let's not butcher it.
Right. But like my guess was based on how it was spelled that it was Guade Nebo.
Okay.
Only reason I say that is because it's spelled like suede, but with a G.
Ah. Well,
So as a
that's how
guest,
you learn
very
how
much a
things
guest,
sound.
but
Yeah.
really cool, like visual. He's huge comparatively. Like she fits in the palm of his hand.
That's fun.
It's so beautifully done.
Yeah.
And he's just hanging out, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, cool, you're here.
Right. Oh,
Well
right.
done."
Okay.
He's like, "I'm gonna help you." Fixes her arm because
Yep.
like it like has it's like there's no skin on it.
Mm.
So he fixes her arm. He's gonna give her some more information. He's gonna show her some things, and she's like, "Hang on a second. Magic has a cost.
Right.
What do you want for this?" And he's like, "I want a few things. Like, one, I want you to I can't remember what the first one is.
Yeah.
The second one is that like he wants her to help Elodie at one point. She's gonna need help.
Okay.
And like he's not gonna say when it is, but like just like when I call upon you, you help her.
Yeah.
And the third one is he wants profanity.
Okay.
He's like swearing and all that stuff has like a lot of power. Like there's power in profanity.
Okay.
And like
That's true.
that from the Prime Magus could be worth even more.
Interesting.
So I want that. So like it's so funny because she like's like fine. So it's just like one curse word. He's like, "Oh come on." No, it's like really tiny and it's like all ampersands and like stuff like that.
The comic term is Grolic.
Oh, Grolic. Oh no, it's like tiny Grolic.
Right, but Grolics.
And he's like, "You could do better than that." And so like she's just screaming it, but she's screaming it as she's kind of also returning to the real world.
Oh, cool.
And
so
they're all
so maybe it's not even on purpose.
but they're all laughing
Yeah.
too. So
Okay,
it's like
cool.
hilarious.
Yes.
They're like, "Oh, good, it worked out." So anyway, needless to say, she goes on an adventure into Hades. We get a little more like, explanation as to the way the world is set up and how Zatanna is, or the magical world is set up and how she can navigate it,
Yes.
which is quite cool. Stunning visuals of
Oh, well, it's Campbell.
of Hades though, of
Sure.
like, of the underworld.
Mm.
The idea that she, much how like Stephen or the Sorcerer Supreme in general has their sanctum, their place.
Yes.
So does Zatanna, but it travels with her.
Oh, cool.
So fun stuff, very cool.
Yep.
But yeah, so like just so many like yay, we took care of the muse, but now we have this issue with like domains and other things because it's
Yeah.
like obviously there's so many things for her to deal with.
Sure.
And I'm very much interested in seeing where this is going. I hope that this lasts for as long as it's allowed to.
Yeah.
As long as Campbell can keep up with it, because like I want pages like this forever, where it shows like a battle between
yeah.
Zatanna and domains, in which like music plays a role in it and like silences her. And then so what she does is, because it's a comic book, she can see
Yeah.
the music. We can see it because it's a comic book. She can see it because magic.
Yes.
And so she starts grabbing the notes to spell her spells backwards
Ah, that's fun.
to do her math.
Cool.
So spectacular. I love how Campbell's brain works.
Yeah.
Love it. Can't wait. Just please write more.
That's
Also
enough.
grab this series because it's so good.
Yeah. Well, I read Superman number 39 from Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora. Prime's been going on a tour of the DC universe, trying to kind of like fill Superman's boots while he's gone, being King Omega in the multiverse or whatever. And so Prime's antagonist has been revealed. If you've been reading the series, you've noticed that like every time Prime does something good, something happens where like things get unmade, or he's reduced to being a sketch, kind of meta comic stuff. The whole book is very meta comic stuff, but more like inside baseball comics than it is like Scott McCloud or Grant Morrison. And so we watch as the reveal is that Manchester Black, who was used to make the retcon that Josh Williamson used to undo the identity reveal that Bendis made, who had been seemingly destroyed by Lex Luthor. As it turns out, you can't kill a psychic person, and so he took a bunch of psychic energy and reconstituted himself. Whatever, who cares? The point is that Manchester Black is back and he's trying to force Prime into embracing his true nature and punching reality again, so that Manchester Black could guide his hand and force Prime to punch reality in such a way that it manipulates reality for Manchester Black's sinister purposes. Black has been also forcing Prime through meta experiences as well, and so we watch as Prime doppels through multiple different iterations of comics, things that Prime doesn't have necessarily a lot of familiarity with, in a way that kind of also talks or speaks to the comic book reader who might be picking up Superman, where it's like Prime only reads superhero comics.
Mhm.
So he's not familiar with a lot of other comics, and so we watch him doppel through romance comics and horror comics and noir comics and such. And there's a great memeable moment. I know it was how the intent it was written in, but I've seen it taken completely out of context, where Prime finds himself on a 9-panel grid, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm in a 9-panel grid. I hope Tom King doesn't find me." Really funny, great joke, and used to whatever effect outside of the context it's in.
Sure.
But it's Prime versus Manchester Black, two kind of meta characters, or two characters who were made with deliberate, intentional purposes, who ended up becoming meta commentaries on the genre itself, who now are at odds with each other. Dan Moore's art is spectacular. The writing is a lot of fun. And we're still rooting for Prime, I think. And Manchester Black's like, you could punch reality and make it so that the things you did never happened. And so as a result, no one, you don't have to earn people's forgiveness of you. And he's like, but that's cheating. That's not what I'm trying to do here. And it's like, okay. You're seeing he's going on a journey.
Right.
Great stuff.
Do you
looks good?
Is it thinking about this now, and thinking about the Marvel DC crossovers?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that it wasn't Deadpool and
Prime?
Yeah. At least for a mini comic or a mini.
It's weird that Prime teamed up with Spider-Man.
Yes.
In the crossovers.
Yes.
As opposed to Deadpool. Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. I would assume that Prime hates Deadpool, and that Prime's reaction to him would be like, "You're exhausting because you didn't actually read the books. You're just from there."
Right.
I'd rather hang out with Gwenpool than you.
Right, but Deadpool will be like, "And you're a nerd."
Right, and you're a huge nerd, and watch me moiderize you. I mean, I don't know. I would like to see it, but also it's just fun to to experience it. And Williamson finds his way through navigating the complicated element of, we're talking about comics, but also I'm only in one publisher's comic.
Mm-hmm.
It's clever. Good stuff. Definitely worth picking up if you haven't already checked out the series. It's definitely worth the price of admission alone. We also, of course, read Absolute Wonder Woman, which is, one of the best Absolute books on the shelves. Sadly, though, not Hayden Sherman. But
I know, but it's because it's a 2-part interlude.
Exactly. And you know what? The art's still great. This is, of course, Kelly Thompson with art this time by Dylan Snook. This sees Diana, Wonder Woman of the Wild Isle, on the Wild Isle, still trapped in hell.
Yes, because of her.
Yes, because of her
her deal.
The deal.
Well, the yes.
Well, however you want to describe it.
Yeah.
And her kind of on a quest to find her mom.
Yeah, because and that started so sad.
Yeah.
All the little
little creatures are being killed, and so she's had to bury them. And one of the a little lizard comes up. She's like, "Oh, hello, my friend. It's dangerous to know me, so
you gotta go."
Scarce.
Yeah.
Sad.
Very, really sad. But this is Diana on a mission here, while simultaneously, because
is on her
she's
own mission.
not in the or on Earth, the Huron is in danger of being invaded
by sinister forces.
Right, but that's okay.
Right, because it has protection spells, and it has Steve
a lawyer
and a lawyer there to make sure that everyone's rights are protected.
Yeah, Steve's like, "Hey,
hi, I'm Steve. Everybody feel sick? It's great.
Awesome. Do you have a warrant? Because this is my attorney."
Yeah,
and I'm just saying.
And they all run away.
They just all no. They just kind of no.
Oh, darn.
Fine, I guess we'll stick to the letter of the law. And I'm like, could you?
It's funny. This is a book where I could imagine having a dynamite pitch, having a great first arc, and then kind of being like, uh-oh. But Thompson is full of ideas.
Yes.
And no arc feels like it's gone on too long. No arc feels like it's not emblematic of the series. Every issue feels like it's essential, or at least it's an indulgence that you want to go in. This is no different. It's it's great to know that this series does have legs, and this does, at least Thompson knows what to do with the Wonder Woman. Although I think Scott did a nice job writing her in the crossover.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I do prefer Thompson's voice.
Definitely.
And we also check in with Etta and Gia, the sisters, and Gia is. Oh no, Etta. No, yeah, Gia. I was like, who's going?
Yes,
Gia
who's
is
leaving
going to Gotham. I'm like,
Oh, are they going to be used in any way? Probably not.
probably not.
But that'd be kind of fun.
Right?
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to, it's going to be Scott.
Exactly.
But,
But
yeah.
the bulk of the story, other than Wonder Woman being like, all right, so I
On a
can't
quest.
help Barbara
Yep.
because I'm trapped here.
Exactly.
I have to go find my mom.
Mhm.
And then like going through
Like
some
trials.
I mean, she's got a mythological usual suspects.
Yeah.
And which I loved it because
her fighting the centaur or
Minotaur?
Minotaur?
It was a Manticore.
Manticore, that's it.
I meant the list that she has because I've been playing Hades 2, and I
Mhm.
was just like, oh man.
I know all these names.
Also, Skilla. I hate you. But anyway, the bulk of the story is also about Barbara.
Yes.
And then, like, the fact that Kale had been setting it up that she would be
The next cheetah.
the next cheetah. But like, Kale's plan is none.
No.
Because she doesn't know what made the cheetah.
Yes.
And we find out why she doesn't know what made the cheetah.
Uh-huh.
I really liked this.
Yes, I did too. Because it's not just you could there. If you want to compare apples to oranges, when Batman's like, these are my best friends, the Penguin, the Riddler, Two-Face, and Killer Croc. You're like, oh, geez, here we go. With this, you're like, you could feel that, oh, no, especially with, like, the body of the previous cheetah and her blood, and now it's like, I got to drink her blood, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, here's where Barbara's going to go. It's going to feel like she's been abandoned. I know where this goes. But we're not going there. It's if she doesn't, in fact, become Cheetah, it will be earned.
Yes.
And it will feel like a new story. It will not just be like, all right, who's going to splash acid on his face? Like, it feels fun.
Yes.
And I'm rooting for her. I don't know. It's not a foregone conclusion.
It's not. And even like the previous cheetah in ghostly spirit form is like, maybe that Amazon will come back for you. Like, as though it's like, maybe you should just hold out.
Yes.
But yeah, like it's like a really interesting conversation between, between the plant god too.
Oh, yes.
Who I love that, like, he's like, I don't really love that.
Mm-hmm.
But that, like, the cheetah is his consort, as she's like, of course you'd want that. So it's like, she is, with her background, very well aware.
Yes.
But also, like, I'm very interested to see where that conversation is going to land her.
Yes,
for sure. But yeah, like Wonder Woman fighting the Manticore, spectacular.
Yep.
And then of course she's gonna go for Skilla, but before we do that, she has a conversation with Hecate for a quick second.
And Hecate reveals that
Hecate
has been involved, is responsible for this.
Yeah.
And
and like I like that because it's like Wonder Woman's like thinking about like the fact that they chose Cersei, and like they didn't like that they maybe didn't think that one through.
Yes.
That like, while Diana learned to be a sorceress, witch, but she might have also gotten some of her mother's stronger personality trait as well.
Absolutely.
Through her rearing. So I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And again, this is one of those little 2-issue interludes where it's like, here's kind of what's going on. It's going to get us to the next arc.
Yeah.
I like these. They're a lot of fun.
I agree. Did you read Ab Soups?
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
Of course I did. Man, I really wanted this issue to be all about Steel. I knew it wasn't going to be. But did I quietly think to myself, that'd be fun.
That'd be fun if we did a whole Steel issue.
I mean,
or make a Steel book.
I don't care. I loved it. This is Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval. And what have we been dealing with? Well, we've been dealing with Teth Adam.
Yes.
Who utilizes the term Shazam.
He's King Shazam in this, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving you a little background.
Yes.
Gifted his abilities via Brainiac. Right. So it's like, this is what we're dealing with. He has been locked away, super powerful, is woken back up, and a huge battle has begun.
Yes.
And in this, we start off with being like, let's talk a little bit about Hawkman.
Okay.
Shall us? Like,
maybe you didn't read that Justice League book, Absolute Power.
Well, more like not where he came from, but more like maybe he's not an entire jerk.
Okay.
Like, he's still a massive jerk.
Absolutely.
But maybe he's not entirely.
Maybe he's not irredeemable.
Well.
Okay.
But essentially we go to like earlier. When? I don't know. But early enough that it's like Talia has told Hall to go and take out Superman.
Yes.
It's post Oliver Queen's death.
Right.
Because she wants him in a hole next to Oliver Queen,
Mhm.
basically. And it's also after the parasite attack.
Ah.
Because Hall's like, here's the thing. Like, I know you wanted him dead. Here's the thing. But like, I watched him like not only be like consumed by parasite along with like the entire population of Metropolis, but like I don't know what he was able to do. I don't know how he did it, but he saved millions.
Right.
Like he's starting to buy in
Yeah,
a little
he's
bit,
drinking the Kool-Aid
right?
of Superman.
And then
sure.
she literally drops a backpack of money on his car. So then we get like him going to the Metropolis Natural History Museum as he's talking about being an archaeologist, because she's like, like she's talking about the hit list of like, I want him the whole next Oliver Queen, and I'm like whoever else so like, is in there or like near there who I've already forgotten the names of. And he's like, well, I don't, because that's what archaeologists do. Like we don't forget.
Yes.
We dig things up, we learn about them. But like the fact is, it's like when you look at this world, it's not great. Right. And so like you're either going to survive via becoming like
something harder
or dirty, by taking out, like by losing your goodness,
yes,
or you're going to be taken out. Right. Yeah. And so like he's walking along, and I love it because we walk past clearly like some of the Teth Adam stuff, because there's like a tablet like broken down, and you see the big lightning bolt on it.
Nice. Okay.
And there's like, those donation things where it's like glass, you can see the money in it. He just puts the backpack on top of it. I was like, nice. Oh, okay.
He's not in it for the money.
So now we cut to now where all the players are standing on a beach. So we got Superman, we've got Steel, we've got Teth Adam, and we've got Hawkman.
Yes.
And like Superman's like, what are you doing here?
Right. I don't like you.
Why are you here?
Right.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
And like he's like, listen, hey, I'm gonna try and put an end to this because like I don't think you can do it.
Okay.
Right. So then he starts talking in like ancient Egyptian.
Oh, cool.
And he's just like, here's the thing, man. I get it. It's a strange new world, but like come with me. Try to help you out.
Yeah, I'll acclimate you.
And like he's like, no,
we're
Flash,
gonna fight.
Get out of here.
Okay.
And it's hilarious because he's like, all right. So immediately Hawkman's like, all right, my ancient Egyptian's a little like rusty, but like go F yourself. Like here we go. And I love it because Steel and Superman are just like, okay.
I'm not involved in this conversation. I have no idea what to say.
So Hawkman like hits him real hard. He's like, all right. So I knocked him in the upper atmosphere. We got like a minute maybe.
Right.
So here's what we're gonna do. Like he's coming back for me. You two flank him, and we'll take him out that way. Maybe. Okay. I don't know. Probably not. And like Napoleon. Superman's like, are you here to help me?
Right.
What? He's like,
I need you to catch up. We're yes.
Yes, exactly that. And essentially he's just like, nothing is going to like stop guys like him from going wild and wrecking the world. Like we have to stop that.
Yeah.
Like this is what has to happen. But inevitably, like he also like is like, and if we survive it, I love this because he's like, if we survive it, the stakes are on me. And like Steel's like, I'm a vegetarian.
Fine.
And Superman's like, I eat sunlight. And he's like, okay.
Oh my God.
What am I doing here?
All right.
So huge knockdown drag out fight where like Hawkman's talking about the like, what's going on and like around the world. There's like tornadoes seen here and like this like was it the tornadoes themselves? Yeah, like made like they're made of like magic sand. They're jet black and like they could render steel to carbon, but like no one dies and like all like it's just all these things that are happening, right? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, is like Black Adam not as like he's evil just right? Yeah. He talks about how the mask guy, he doesn't know Steel. He's just like that guy, gotta give him guts. He's basically got a hammer, right? And he's just in there. He's just he might as well be wrapped in tinfoil against this guy. Yeah. But he's doing his thing. And he's like, and Superman is taking punches that are like a nuclear warhead, like hitting him in the face, and he just keeps coming back. And I'm like, this guy's like,
he
can't change his spot, but like, he's literally buying it. And he's like, for a second, I think we can win.
Oh,
right. And like, it shows them like they're in the clouds being like held by like Teth Adam, where he's just like, all right, everybody call it. And he's like, Superman is kind of knocked out, and like Hall and Teth Adam have a moment to have a conversation where, like, essentially Hall's like, man, I'm the one who found you in the first place. Let me explain to you where you because you think you're this prophesized hero. You
Right.
think you're here to save humanity. Let me tell you what happened to you. And he explains where he got his powers from.
Oh.
And that it was just like the Brainiacs, maybe they thought it was funny because they didn't know what it was going to do to you.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They just like, ha 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 ha. You're not that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think that, like, you're oh, that's right. They like, we gave you the powers, and then they released you on the world, and like within a day, like you ended slavery around the world, and that's awesome. And maybe you would have changed the course of human history. But the fact is, the Justice League was there, and I was like, and then they show you a picture.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
No.
Where it looks like Raven.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Like Raven Trigon.
Yep.
Maybe Ra's al Ghul
Right?
or Vandal Savage.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and Doctor Strange?
And Ocean Master?
Master,
I don't know, right?
Right? No, that's fun.
Lot going on there.
Yeah.
Lot going on there.
Okay.
Neat.
Neat.
But anyway, like, he's like, like, you think you're the one who is supposed to, like, save the world with the power of the sky and the dust of his home on his back. He's like, I'm gonna tell you, that wasn't about you, that was about him. So it's like Hawkman is putting it all together.
Yes.
He's just like, right. So again, epic fight.
Yes.
Because, like, Adam's like, he punches, like, Superman in the face, and he grabs like a lightning bolt and he like stabs it into Superman. He's like, if he was supposed to be the savior, like, could I be able to do this? Like, no, he's a false prophet. And that's when Parasite shows up.
Oh no!
And he grabs on, and like it's like he's like holding them, but like Teth Adam's fighting back, so that they all have like a chance to kind of have a talk about what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like Hawkman's like, all right, so we gotta hit him, we gotta kill him.
Right.
And like Superman's like, you said we weren't going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Steel's even like,
yeah,
maybe
sure,
like, this guy is
a problem.
Yeah,
it could destroy everything.
It could destroy everything, and it's like, while it could be for what he thinks is the good and the betterment, who knows countless who would die, right? Because Hawkman also realized, he's like, while he's talking with Teth Adam, and he's like, talking about how this was like, you let like these like tornadoes and all this like happen around the world. No one died. Why was that?
Right. Not because of you.
Because Superman. Because Superman was literally like
saving people.
He would like dip out real quick.
Yeah.
Save everybody and then come back.
Totally.
And he's just like, you're trash, and this guy's actually okay.
Yeah.
But I also need him to get his shit together because we need to kill you.
Yes.
So the issue basically concludes with like, everyone's down for the count because it turns out Teth Adam was holding back.
Oh God.
And so they end up like in the Arctic or in a snowy landscape, beaten to hell. And I'm just like, is Steel gonna die?
Right?
I don't know. All I know is Hawkman's like, you gotta take my mace. It's made out of nth metal.
Oh.
In your hands, it'll be enough to smash a planet or maybe like cave his skull in.
Okay.
And Superman's like, well, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not for me. And Steel's like laying there, and he's just like, here's the thing. I made Viola out of promethium. It's got a miniature neutron star inside of it. You got to so like, if you want to save this world, sometimes you got to swing the hammer. And I was like, okay. So like we go back to Metropolis because Adam is looking for the father box.
Okay.
Because he's like, that's where my powers came from.
Right.
And Lois and Talia were having a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Father box tries to begin unmaking him when he is pulled away by Superman and brought to the moon. And he's like, there's no oxygen here. Right. But I know your super strong lungs have plenty of oxygen, so I'd hang on to it if I were you.
Okay.
Because nothing else up here for you, right? And then we reveal Superman in a dope new suit.
Whoa.
Wielding both hammers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, clang. I'm like, okay.
Dope. All right.
But Superman, again, we're watching absolute Superman become more of a Superman that like we understand, in which it's like, I have to get him off planet.
Yeah.
First of all, to possibly even win, but also because I don't know what kind of damage is going to happen here. Love it.
That's
Love
awesome.
it. Anyway, didn't want to go into such depth, but like that issue is so jam-packed.
Yes.
I still wish that there was more Steel. I'm still hopeful that Steel is not dead.
Yes.
But it's like, he's a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. So good.
Fair.
So great.
Sweet. So we saw a little movie that people have big opinions about called Supergirl. This was the second entry of the James Gunn-led
Yes.
DCU, although season 2 Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, and technically the Suicide Squad all happened. This is starring Millie Alcock as Supergirl. Craig Gillespie is the director, and it is mostly attributed to Anna Noguera as the writer of this movie. It is considered essentially already a box office bomb.
Sure.
There are all kinds of reviews. I know many of my our colleagues would like to then cut to the Rotten Tomato scores. I genuinely couldn't care less about them, so I'm not going to cite them now. But I imagine it's probably around between 50 and 60% freshness rating. Obviously, famously adapted from the Tom King book of a similar name. I think this originally be called Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, but I think they dropped all the subtitles. Same with Superman as well. But yeah, teased at the end of the Superman movie. Follows the adventures of Kara Zor-El as she is going on kind of a bender and befriends a young orphaned girl who, looking for revenge, fighting a band of brigands led up by one who was the one who both killed Ruthie's family and injured Supergirl's dog, Crypto. And what follows is a action adventure story arc that goes across the galaxy and seeks to normalize the name Supergirl in the hearts and minds of cinemagoers everywhere. Initial thoughts before we get into the nitty gritty about Supergirl. This was a fun movie that I had no fight with. I'd heard really negative things before the movie had come out. I have a colleague who saw it early, and his response to the negative reviews that I saw was echoed more of my own, where it's like the extreme negative seems baffling, and it was no worse than any mid-level MCU movie. That's an easy layup to give it. Like, if you liked Iron Man 2, you'll probably like Supergirl. If you liked any pretty good MCU movie, there's nothing about this that could offend. If you were expecting a straight up adaptation of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the comic book, I think you'll be surprised to find it's not.
No.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find one. And I think that this DCU that we have, making a adaptation of Absolute Batman, making an adaptation of Nightfall, making an adaptation of Mr. Miracle, the comic book from Tom King and Mitch Gerrits, that's where you'll find a more one-to-one. That's where you'll find those people at the helm of these creations.
Right.
This is a movie made by people who make movies, who maybe also were part of the previous regime of DCU movies as well. That being said, what'd you think? Did you like it? And because that's really what matters, is like, when you watched it, did you have fun? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I echo your sentiment as well. I liked it. I didn't freak out. I wasn't expecting it to be the comic book. It reminds me of very much of like any superhero movie made in the last 35 to 45 years, where it's like, hey, they did there's a thing from the comic book.
Right.
As opposed to it being like, I can't believe they didn't just do the comic book, There's the same thing with like Captain America Civil War. It's a great movie that's all by itself, it's nothing like the comic book of its same name. But hey, look, they recreated the panel where Captain America is blocking Iron Man's blasts. Oh, that's the thing from the comic. But yeah, more from the comic book is certainly ripped and put up on screen than most movies that are called superhero comic book adaptations.
Right. Here's what's funny. I think this movie's getting a lot, like, the reason you're hearing negativity across like multiple channels is you have a few opinions. Yeah. One is because there's a female presence at the helm. Another is that maybe folks just were thinking it was going to be a Batman movie.
I don't know why you would think that.
Look at as the next DC movie.
Oh, you mean Superman? What's next? Like Wonder Woman, Batman, how about Supergirl?
Right. And then finally would be folks who had read this and wanted this, which is how I felt originally, but I was very quick to realize that was not going to happen in a movie.
No,
if they had said that they were doing a series,
then it's like, oh, it better look like that.
Yeah, then we would have gotten more of what's in here, I think. So I think so instead of like typically when someone goes to see like a movie about a character, they recognize that they're going to be pulling from a lot of different sources. But we knew fairly early on that this was going to be the main source.
Yes.
So I think for a lot of people, they're like, well, then it should be this.
Sure, especially if you are like, let's say you're a Supergirl fan and you enjoy the storied history of Kara Zor-El from many different continuities. Finding out, oh, the main one they're going to use is this book that isn't really steeped in continuity and is mostly its own thing.
Right.
You know, I can imagine being disappointed. You know, the first time you've seen Supergirl movie, even though there was another one, which is arguably much worse. You know, I'd be disappointed in as much as like I'm finally getting my favorite character on screen, and it's not gonna be like a love letter to all the iterations of the character, and instead is gonna be this very specific take on the character. But I imagine that's also probably not a reality that we live in, where, you know, the majority of criticisms come from people who are just like, I'm a hardcore Supergirl fan, and I'm disappointed we didn't get like great Supergirl. Like, no. There's also another, and I don't want this to be a review where we review criticism.
No, I don't either.
But it can't be helped, and the conversation is always going to be about this, no matter, regardless of whatever, based on two things. One, a female protagonist in a movie, because there is an engine, a corporate engine that exists that makes money off of complaining when that happens. It's a reality we live in. The best course of action is to acknowledge it and then dismiss it. And then formulate your own opinion based on your internal opinions and feelings and thoughts and beliefs. But it would be naive to ignore the reality of an engine that exists that makes money when they complain about a woman on screen. It used to be not the case. Then it used to be a woman in an action movie role, and now it has morphed into, if a woman is leading the movie, this engine will kick back on. That is horseshit and should never be given legitimacy, but it's something to be acknowledged at the very least. Like, it exists and it will drive the narrative, because the narrative is always dictated by the algorithm, which exists to perpetuate negativity. It is built that way. You have to work harder to find positivity online. Monsters rule the world. We live in the absolute universe. So, but I also want to acknowledge another arm of cinema criticism that I didn't want to believe exists, but have been informed by folks from the film criticism industry does. And the Variety article that said this was the worst script they'd ever read in their lives is proof positive of it, because it's not the worst script that's ever been written. I mean, like, that's just a joke in and of itself, but also it's not even the worst superhero script ever written. It's not even the worst female superhero script ever written.
Yeah, that's
like it's pure and unadulterated hyperbole. But there is a segment of film criticism that is tired of superhero movies, and they are celebrating the gleeful death of the superhero genre, as they call it. And they're hoping that the more superhero movie bombs there are, the less likely it is that Hollywood will back those movies. And so we can kind of get back to film criticism as, like, you know, we're reviewing movies now. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, that is never going to happen.
Right.
They're just going to replace it with Transformers movies. Like, it's like, I'm sorry, but box office movies existed before the superhero genre.
Yes.
You can even call it a genre, which I'd hesitate to call it that. But I can't imagine that, you know, that anyone who has any position of authority, in air quotes, of writing film criticism
Yes.
thinks that they are doing anyone a service by trying to take down the superhero movie genre with their biting criticism of a movie that makes like little girls and adult women feel good for a hot second.
Right.
I mean, or just regular folks who are heteronormative. Like, hi, I'm just a cis white guy, and I thought the movie was pretty fun. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So that also exists, and it's also to be acknowledged. And I can't believe the Variety would employ someone like that. But here we are. Again, the algorithm rewards negativity. That is there anything else about that umbrella that you want to address?
No. I think we're like fun.
Here's the other. Here, before we get into the movie, let's address this on the screen and this lovely phenomenon that you wanted to discuss.
Ta-da!
On our comic book review show.
Look at this. They were very much into telling everybody that this movie was filmed for IMAX, so we got IMAX tickets.
Yes.
And when we walked in, they were like, "Would you like your issues?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." I wasn't sure what it was going to be. It's literally the first issue
of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
They're like, "Go grab it. Go here, read this, and see what's up." Which was like, initially, I was like, "Well, that's daring." And I was like, no, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, this is, and like, never stop doing this, DC.
Right.
I freaking love this.
Yeah.
I saw families. I saw, like, children, adults, everybody. They had their copies.
Yes.
And they were leafing through it.
They
were they're looking through it, whatever. And then in the back was the most recent, or it was like the more recent run of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Cool. Right? Just like,
makes sense, Tom King.
Yeah, Tom King. Got the Tom King tie in there. It looks like there's a little...
The Trinity in there.
It's
referencing, I think, the matriarch.
Right. But I'm like, This is what you should be doing. Like the synergy.
Yeah.
This is synergy.
Yeah, you're trying to
please keep doing this,
because that's the thing, right? Like, because the comic book industry, by and large, since like Spider-Man 2002, has been like, well, here's what's going to happen. We already have the comic book shops, so what they need to do is they'll go to their movie theaters and then they'll find the nearest comic shop and buy it.
Sure.
And they'll be confused that Spider-Man's wearing a black costume in the movie and not in the comics. We got to make sure he's doing that, or have his organic webbing or whatever. But that was never a reality, and it never moved the needle. And occasionally it happened. And I know your anecdotal evidence in the chat or comments is notwithstanding the fact that it by and large doesn't work. You have to bridge the gap. The barrier to entry has to be eroded so that it is transparent. If you like, I can imagine the conversation being nothing short of putting the comic book in their hands is going to get them to read it. Well, then put the comic book in their hands.
Yeah.
Like, here,
take this with you when you go into the theater. The
failing of the person who was giving us the comic books, where she said, like, do you want your comic? No. You want fries with that. You want your comic book. This is like a $5, according to the comic book industry, this is like a $6 value because it's a single issue of a book. But you want your comic book? Here you go. If you liked anything about that movie, you're probably going to like this. But I don't even need to sell it to you. Here it is. It's free. Great idea. Also, new cover by Bilkey that's doing like kind of
absolutely,
the movie version, but a blend between the two. Mostly, it's just movie crypto. So yeah, that's really cool. They did a Herculean effort to try and get people to like be aware of it. All the promotional materials and interviews and stuff. They keep referring to the fact that it's a comic book, and you could buy the comic book and all this stuff. Like, it's just wonderful to see that, like, there's actually an article that's being written. I got a privilege to read it early, before it was published wherever it's going to be published, by a industry professional who's basically just like, who cares about the discourse about this Supergirl? This movie's selling comic books. And that's what the DC universe is doing. That's what the James Gunn DCU is doing.
Right.
They keep reminding you the comics exist. They keep selling comic books to you. That, like, I don't care if you hate all these movies and shows. It's doing the work that you profess or claim to believe in, which is getting, like, normalizing comic books and getting them in the hands of new readers, because that's the only way you're going to get the industry to keep going.
Absolutely.
So that's wonderful, to be celebrated. Huzzah. As far as the movies go, I thought that there was no miscasting. I thought the cast was great.
Yeah.
Everyone did a fantastic job. Millie Alcock did a fantastic job with Supergirl.
Yes.
With this version of Supergirl.
Yes. Was I expecting Ruthie to have an English accent? No. Did I get used to it?
Yeah. Did I care? No.
Fine.
Couldn't have cared less. But I also understood why they were like Ruthie is interesting because I saw some criticism literally a few minutes ago where it was like, I didn't expect Ruthie to be the main character. And I'm like, is that what you got from this? Because Ruthie doesn't do anything in this movie.
No, actually, I it's funny, like, because like this book is called Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, but the entire storytelling is through Ruthie.
No
like,
one speaks more than Ruthie.
It's her book.
It's her book.
Like,
the book is the story. Yes.
No, I mean, like, she writes a book.
Right. And it's called Supergirl. Like, this book is it. Like, when you get to the end, it's like the whole thing is a story told by Ruthie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's the main character.
Yes.
And by the way, I am not disappointed that Ruthie is not the main character of this movie.
No.
And I understood why you want to make Supergirl kind of like at the fore.
Yeah.
I thought Ruthie is a good device, and I understood, and I think the people who wrote this understood the assignment of like, okay, so we want Ruthie as a kind of like a ride-on character. She's the one who can ask questions. What? This is crazy. What about this? What about that? You do this. You know, Hellboy's an amazing movie. Myers exists because people were so worried about a Hellboy. They were like, I need a guy to go, what?
Yeah.
So that's what Ruthie was kind of delegated to. That and staying there.
Yeah, that was.
Do you want to speak to that?
There is like, it happens like 3 times.
At least 3.
But it's like very obvious in which, and like, I think my issue is that they don't call it out, because if it's done for humor, that's hilarious.
Yes.
But they don't call it out.
No.
But like there is this moment with like Supergirl in which she tells Ruthie to stay here, stay wherever, stay there. And then she doesn't. And it happens like 3 different times. The last time, Sal and I both independently of each other were like,
well, this is the part where like,
okay, we get it.
I know, like, yeah. So yeah, that was a funny thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, cast was great. Ruthie did a nice job.
Yes.
I wish she were more verbose. The book,
yes,
night and day. It's Ruthie is
okay, and like, and
Ruthie's
that's
just a new character.
Without, because like we're trying to keep this like spoiler free for right now.
Absolutely.
But like what I do want to address is that obviously, like, I'm not here to glaze this movie.
No.
At all. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
But I also went in knowing in my heart of hearts there was literally no way this was going to be the movie.
Right.
And I knew that. Like, I knew, like, someone mentioned that they wish that Purple Town had been there. And I was like, there was no way they were going to.
That was the one you were like, well, they're not, one thing they're not going to do.
But like, I wish they had.
Yeah.
Like, I wish we had seen her bury the dead of that other planet. Like, but I was like, they're not going to do that.
Right.
Like, and I knew they weren't going to do that.
Why won't they do that? It's
right.
Like, because they want children and adults to see this movie, because there's a reason why there's no romance in the MCU. Like, they want it to hit all audiences.
Exactly. So I want to address that, like, while I enjoyed the movie, and I did have a good time, there were things that, of course, bothered me.
Sure.
But that the overall outcome of it was, I felt like the movie was a perfect gateway for even a small fraction of individuals to go, I want to know more, grab this and find out the depths that this story actually has.
That's a great point, because this is a thing where if they had done it, it would have been a superficial or tertiary approach to it. So instead, they get more, you know, as opposed to getting a crappy version of the Purple People story. They get the Purple People story,
and that's the
in
thing,
its authenticity.
Right. And like, I really went like back and forth with that as well, where it's like, there is power in seeing those parts of this journey in a film, right? But not doing it right. Is it worse?
It only diminishes
I feel like it is.
And I don't think, and this isn't to say like, because the filmmakers were incompetent and they made a bad movie, and so they were incapable of making a Purple People episode. I think it's more that that's not the movie they're making. You know, like, and I understand the argument where it's like, well, then why even make Supergirl Woman Tomorrow? Because there is a PG-13 action movie in this thing, and you can extract it from here. But also I think it would be weird and not tone deaf, but more like tonally at odds with itself if you have all these ideas. They do put like child trafficking in the movie. That's another element they put in the movie. And I saw some criticism that was like, you know, it'd be powerful if they explored it. And I'm like, at what point would you like to do that? And to what severity would you like to do that? You know, we address it and we make, I mean, look, we didn't, it is as deep as when the Green Goblin has a train car full of people and Spider-Man's girlfriend. Like, it's like, it's a box full of kids. Oh no, they're gonna die.
Right.
They could have never said that they were child brides in the movie, and we would have understood what their purpose was in that, like, in their kidnapping.
Right.
But they chose to say it. And it's like, you know what? They said it. Fine.
Yeah. So the other thing I want to address is something I keep seeing people saying was like, just have done this. There's too much.
That's also true.
Like,
this would have been a great show if the show cost $800 million.
And that's the thing. You can't. And I'm sure you think that there's a way that they could.
Right.
But you can't do a 1-for-1 of this as a movie unless you've committed to doing like a trilogy.
Right, exactly.
Which this is not what this should be. Again, if they had done a show,
yeah.
First of all, people would be like annoyed that it wasn't the cloud of a movie. But then in a show, you can explore. You can go to planets. You can have quiet moments.
You can do a whole episode
because
on
you
the
have
bus.
time, right? I would say, and I know people disagree.
Sure.
But it's my opinion. I would say that the movie did a good job of giving us an introduction of the spirit of this book and of this version of Supergirl.
Right.
A Supergirl who is not perfect. Like, especially if you look at where the DCU is trying to take Superman. Superman is this like idyllic individual.
Yeah,
right. Like
human,
but like he's
strives.
Joyous and like he sees the good when there is none. Like he tries to do that. That's what we've kind of gotten to know from him, right?
Yes.
And then there's Supergirl, right, who is not that,
right,
and has baggage she carries with her.
Yeah.
And while we peek at that world, and maybe this book does a little bit better and more to explore that
the trauma she suffered. Yeah.
Yes. I think the movie kind of like pulls the cape up for a second so that you can kind of see what more you could get.
Right.
Here's what I like. It's just a quick aside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love about the fact that we're talking about this right now?
What's that?
That there are so many people who are annoyed by the fact that the movie isn't this book. And that to me is a win.
Right.
Because when this book came out,
oh my God,
so few people were reading it.
Yeah, it was.
And so the fact that we're even here.
Right. They made a movie adaptation of a book was a bomb.
But also people are upset that it's not the comic. I'm sorry that you're upset, but I'm so happy that you are, because it means that like the
comic succeeded.
Yes.
The comic reached you.
Yes. And while like, I saw somebody say that, and I get it. Like, if you weren't happy with the movie, I do understand.
Sure.
Like, especially if you want more of this, if you're hoping it was going to look like this. Bilkey's style is so special.
Yes.
Right. Matthew Loeb's colors are so special.
And you don't really get that.
You don't.
You get the
totally
designs, but you don't get that in this movie.
But like someone mentioned that they felt the same disappointment that I felt when I saw Doctor Strange, the movie.
Fair. Okay.
Right. And I was like, ooh, okay, that's an interesting take. Now, my feeling for Doctor Strange, and I'm not trying to diminish how you feel because I totally get it. But like mine was issue was like you didn't get the character.
Right.
I feel like this movie
did
get what they were trying to do with this. I think for a lot of people, they just didn't go far enough.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I agree. And I can agree with that sentiment. I also think that, there are some things I think technically they made a good movie. I think that it follows a narrative structure. There are criticisms I've seen, and again, I don't want to get into the weeds about criticism, but it's more like I'm just like I can't believe I have to articulate the idea that I think it was competently shot. I think it I think I've become hyper aware of more modern conventions. For example, there's a lot of circle tracking in this movie, more than there should be.
Yes,
I think that there was a lot of dead center blocking that could be construed as TikTok cropping. And we're I've certainly heard this criticism for shows and movies now. Where they're shooting shows and movies where all the action is in dead center so that it can be cropped for vertical video. I can't speak to that. I also know that the film industry deeply resents TikTok and hates the internet. So I can't imagine them wanting to do that. But also, we heard from Netflix, make sure to reiterate plot points 3 times. Because people are also making dinner or looking at their phone while they're watching our program.
Right.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But criticisms that I have for the movie are, there were a couple of action sequences that were not as clean as I would have wanted, but certainly I've seen more critically acclaimed movies that have much worse looking cinematography for action. Batman Begins has ugly ass fight scenes and nauseating cinematography when it comes to those fight scenes. And then when they get better in Dark Knight, the blocking is still weird because Nolan doesn't care about action sequences fight scenes, I should say. Whereas this movie, the fight scenes are competent, fun, land, but also the circle blocking. I was like, all right, we did it. You know, I remember a time when they would like put one in. There's one scene where we see the big circle scene where we circle track or whatever they call it. Fine, whatever. But again, none of these things diminished the movie for me. None of these things took away from the enjoyment of the movie. And I thought it was interesting for me, at least, where I'm like, this protagonist is abrasive.
Yes.
And
yes,
it's like, you know, trends right now, having an abrasive female protagonist is a risk. And unfortunately also apparently financially detrimental because the movie didn't make any money. But I was like, good for you for making for sticking to your guns and making a movie that you wanted to make, that you believed in. And I went with her on this journey. And I've certainly seen a million movies with like an unlikable protagonist who then learns something or finds their hope and their humanity and then thrives. And I'm right there with them on the journey. And I was there for it. I also hate the Jor-El Lara retcon.
Yes.
And I hate that they doubled down on it. And I think that this movie was the opportunity they could have taken to not do that or to reveal, hey, actually the engineer changed the message of the L's and actually they didn't really believe that. And
no, we've doubled down.
We know that, but Superman doesn't know that. And that's just a looming plot thread that we can worry about later on. Now we double down on it. Jor-El's a psychopath. Okay, that sucks. And I can't do anything about that. So I can either hate the Superman movies or I can enjoy them. We're getting the best looking Spider-Man costume in cinema history. And he has organic webbing. So we're not all going to get what we want.
Right. Yep.
Like, it's going to be a plot thread.
Right.
So, you know, but I can still enjoy it. I loved Superman. I hate that Jor-El thing. Can't do anything about that. But if I omit it from my brain, I still didn't change anything about the movie.
Right.
But that's something I can say. Like, I didn't like that. And and it's funny that they were like, no, make Kara's family. They're not the psychopaths.
Right.
You had some opinions about that as well. The parent thing. Oh, and I'll speak to this, like the Ruthie situation.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, what parent thing?
Her parents, Kara's parents.
I did?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You were like, I understand what they did. Like, it's more about her father in the book, but then they were like, let's make it about the mom.
Oh, that's Ruthie's family. Not Kara's.
I thought you were talking about Kara. And
no.
Just them focusing on how like her mom got cancer and died and stuff like that.
Oh, no.
But no, you're talking, it was all about the fact that like, Ruthie's
so like
family.
what I will probably end up talking a few spoilers. So sorry, it's going to happen. Right.
Sure.
So, there were a couple things that did bother me that I was just like
you didn't need to do that. For
your
why
adaptation. You switched it, but then I was just like, I guess because you don't have the same time and real estate that this has,
right?
To tell your story, but like the fact that they kill all of Ruthie's family.
Yes,
I'm like, really?
Right? Like all of them? Did
all
we
of
need
them
to do that?
In the book, it's just her dad.
Yes,
and then like her family, like none of them will rise to the occasion to do anything about it. They're all like too afraid or not interested, and so she does it.
Yeah,
but it's like I get again like what I'm doing is I'm taking this and I'm putting it through a filter of like what's going to make it work in a movie, and it's just like we have to give her the total like Luke Skywalker. Burn the house down.
Exactly. No, that's the thing.
Like, and like literally they did. They burnt the house down. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what are you gonna do? Right. She's got to go. And it's like, well, I understand it. I do wish they did that. There's another thing that bothered me. And unless I misremembered it in the book because I haven't read it in a bit. But this book has it where yes, Crypto is sick,
Right.
but Kara knows that he'll be fine and
Exactly.
is secretly going to just keep Ruthie safe.
Right, because that's the whole motivation, and that's the difference between the book and the movie. Is like,
Yes.
you know, Supergirl's motivations for going on this journey.
Yes, and again, I haven't read this in quite a while, so I was like, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens in there, and I like that motivation. But again, I understand that for a movie-going audience, that it might be a little bit more. I don't like. I'm afraid. I don't want to like dumb things down for people, but I understand wanting to make it cut and dry.
Yes,
and also we are again keeping that spirit of this book and of this Kara, but also this Kara is a Kara who has done superhero things before.
Right, she's already been Supergirl. This is a Supergirl who's like, she's still relatively new.
Yeah.
Like she's only recently become Supergirl and gotten the suit and stuff. We don't. Do you think they could have benefited from having a sequence that shows her being Supergirl?
No, because I think they're setting it up where it's like she hasn't committed to that yet. You know what I mean? And that's why, like,
maybe she never was Supergirl yet.
And that's why the ending is weird for me. But not the ending, but like the final action for Ruthie, Supergirl, and Krem, which differs from the end of this book.
Yes,
for sure. And initially I was like, that was a choice. But I think it's a choice that their version of this character would make.
Yes.
I don't know if I agree with it, but I don't think it's like necessarily like poor storytelling as much as we're seeing a less experienced version of this character.
Yeah.
That was my read on it, at least.
That's fair.
But I do wish they had, maybe not done that. The other thing was in the book, and again, these are my nitpicks. In the book, to show Krem as being such a coward.
Yes.
Because Krem is not part of the Brigands until later on.
No, explain it. It's okay. You can say like, well, Krem is a sole operator.
Yes.
He's an independent agent.
Yes. He's a jerk too, right? And so like inevitably within the book, like Krem joins up with the Brigands because he's afraid of the comeuppance that is coming to him.
Yeah. So he joins up with them, but not because he believes in them, but because he's just looking for help.
Right. And like that to me is a very like a key component to his character where he'll do anything. He
has no scruples, he has no morality, and he will kill anyone, make a deal with anybody, as opposed to like making him a member of the Brigands. I will also say, I think in a book like Supergirl One Tomorrow, where it is kind of like a legend, calling them the Brigands is great. I think in a movie where like everything has a glup shitto name, calling them the Brigands is a little on the nose. Because
I didn't even think about that, because to me, I'm like, but they are the Brigands.
Because everybody keeps saying in the movie, like, do you know any Brigands? And I'm like, you're a Brigand. Saying that. Like when Lobo is like, do you know any Brigands? I'm like, you are technically a Brigand sometimes. Like a Brigand is not a proper noun.
It is
in
for
this
them.
It works.
Yeah.
But for them it does. But I know. But also Brigand in the universe means the same thing.
Sure.
So for me it was just like, it was an English teacher criticism. But it was a nitpick.
Right.
Lobo.
Sure.
We talked about the fact on other shows. Originally, Tom King had pitched Supergirl One Tomorrow. The plan was he wanted to do True Grit in space. That Supergirl wanted revenge, and so she finds Lobo, and that Lobo would be the Rooster Cogburn, and she would be more like Maddie. And then his editor was like, "No, Supergirl should be the Rooster Cogburn," and so Lobo was excised from the book entirely.
Yeah, fair.
I also know that Jason Momoa really wanted to be Lobo. He begged James Gunn. It was like the first thing, like the first text James Gunn got when he was made the head of the studio was from Jason Momoa being like, please make me Lobo. And so I understand the motivation for making him Lobo. Also, based on the fact that like clearly Gunn is influenced by the Giffen, DeMatteis, Maguire run of Justice League, and in fact the 80s era of DC. Lobo must be a big part of that. Like I would not be surprised by James Gunn being like, we should put Lobo in this universe. I also understand, because this movie is so entirely separate from I remember worried about Superman when that movie was coming out. I'm like, there's a lot of characters in here. Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, the freaking, Metamorpho. Like, there's a lot of characters plus his own inner circle. Like, we were getting Cat Grant in here. Like, everybody, Steve Lombard. It feels like it's going to be kind of crowded. Superman, you can, and instead of on Earth, you could make a whole bunch of characters. You could have a bunch of cameos and stuff. Supergirl is so separate and so divorced. It's not on Earth at any point. Not a lot of opportunity for cameos and stuff. But if you want to put Lobo in there, Lobo's an obvious choice because he's an alien. And because he can come and go because he's a bounty hunter.
Right.
I was worried he was going to outshine or overshadow
or have a bigger
role in this movie. He doesn't. Because I've always wanted Jason Momoa to have Lobo, and because I think that I liked him as Aquaman only because I found Jason Momoa's charisma to be so engaging, I was like, this is a long time coming, and I was glad to see it. I don't like Lobo as a comic book character. He's frustrating to me. He's annoying.
But you hate him as much as Ethan does.
Exactly. But him showing up, I'm like, and so him showing up in this movie, I was like, I was kind of delighted. It was it was the most like Marvel I felt in a DC movie so far, where I was like, there he is. And he's doing the thing.
Yes.
He's got the hook. He says Bastich.
Yes.
Says it in a weird way. A very, very deliberate actor way, where I'm like, that's how you chose to say it, eh? Not going to complain about it. I'm just saying it's like he made it his own.
Yeah.
But also, he's got the hog. He's got the attitude. He's constantly smoking.
What's so funny is initially when it was just a motorcycle, I was like, really?
Yeah.
But then it
like flies.
And I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
No notes.
Yeah.
Please make more. I'll take a Lobo movie, please and thank you. Don't make it a show. Or if you want to make Lobo your Agent Coulson or whatever and have him pop in every movie, that's fine with me too. That being said,
yeah,
and if we're avoiding spoilers to the point where we just don't want to give away plot points, Lobo's last appearance was unnecessary.
1,000%.
Not that he was like, and also I'm here. It was just more like they used Lobo as a plot.
They use Lobo as another character in a way from the book.
Yes.
Kind of, who like interrupts that fight.
Yes. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I knew that was coming, and as much as I was like,
because I knew that character was not going to show up.
No. You talking about the horse?
Yeah.
Then we're going to put comment in the movie. I'm sorry, everybody.
I like legitimately show of hands. Who was like, maybe?
Not me. But no, I meant like at the end where like Lobo was like, this action that you performed is endorsed by Lobo. And I'm like anyone gives a shit. Oh, thank you for the moral pat on the back. I needed that, Lobo. But that being said, Lobo A-OK, great idea, fantastic depiction, execution. I'm surprised they didn't lean into him more in the marketing for this movie. Like when they saw the initial ticket sales, they weren't just like, put Lobo in every teaser. Like I'm kind of impressed that they were like, no, we made this movie Supergirl and we're gonna die with this movie. I'm like, okay. But yeah, Lobo's great. No notes outside of like he's used more than I had hoped, but less than I expected.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way of putting that.
You know?
I agree.
And he's great.
Yeah.
In as much as like it in the way that only Lobo can be.
Yes.
Like anybody who likes Lobo, if anyone that you know who likes Lobo is complaining about him in this movie, something else is going on.
Right.
Like if you like Lobo, then you have nothing to complain about.
Right.
This is all I know him to be.
Yes. Yes.
So what do you like? Then you have another. You're complaining about something else. But yeah, Lobo, A-OK. Yeah. Supergirl, A-OK.
Yes.
I thought it was weird that there's like a million Star Wars aliens, and then like we meet two characters who are also space aliens, and they're just regular people. Like they're just like, hi, I'm Guy, and I'm wife. And I'm like, you're not even gonna give him ridges? You know, where's Westmore to put a little eyebrow on him or something?
All right.
But it's just like, okay, I'm
that was a nitpick you had. I'm over here. I'm like, oh my god, they could have put this in here, and like,
and I'm like, and then there's two people from Cincinnati.
There are people. I mean, like Ruthie's whole family, Krem. They're just people.
Yeah. Also, Krem was overdesigned.
Oh, 1,000%. I
get he's a bad guy.
I think across the board, even if you like this movie, I think we can all agree that there was too much going on for Krem.
Yeah.
He did not need that. He doesn't have all that.
No.
He does not normally.
And like
it was really, but again,
the lack of characterization that you get, like for taking away who Krem is in this book, you replaced him with decisions made by the actor.
Because
I'm like, all right.
All right. So we're going to talk about more as we go also through our super chats, because
Oh, sure, we gotta
we're gonna well no, I meant like because like people are asking questions and they're just, I want to make sure that like people understand when I'm talking about the spirit of this book, I'm talking about the spirit of the book of like, I don't think they got it one for one exactly what this book was trying to say,
right,
but I am saying that
and
this
it's saying
is
something else.
but this is a book that is about two characters going on a journey,
mm-hmm.
but it's actually about something else, and
Yeah.
I would say that movie is
about two characters going on a journey.
And there is also
And there's a little bit
an
more
undercurrent of something else going on there.
Yeah.
Right. Like in this book, Krem is a catalyst.
Yes.
You think he's an antagonist,
mm-hmm.
but in the book, he's a catalyst.
By the way, which is also True Grit. Like the guy that Maddie's chasing,
sure,
is Krem.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
He's pathetic. He's a loser. He rides with people he wouldn't normally ride with because he's afraid of the law.
Right. But in the movie, and oftentimes, especially when it comes to like a superhero movie,
we need more.
You need an antagonist.
You need him to be the bad guy.
Which, like, I do think that you could make an art house superhero movie in which there is just a catalyst. And you know, whatever.
Maybe since it made art house money, it's like you probably should have done that.
But you can, like, as you're watching it, if you're like, you can think about, or like you can see that it's just like, okay, well, we had to change this, and once we change this, then we had to change this, and we had to rechange that.
There's a domino effect of like,
and it's a domino effect
of adaptation.
Right, but it's like at the end of the day, they needed someone who was the antagonist. The antagonist isn't just your own personal demons haunting you.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, and I feel like I think that the Krypton stuff was great.
I did too.
I wish it had gone farther.
Yeah, but I again, like, seeing that little girl sitting, like, you know, a row and a half in front of us, I was like, okay,
that's enough.
It's probably okay.
Yeah, we don't need to push it too hard.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do think that, you know, like, we talk. Here's what's funny, right?
We talk about Artax. They could see Krypton die.
No. I meant, like, I was thinking how, like, we consider comics, like, yes, there are comics for kids, but we try to make comics be not about being for kids,
right?
Where it's like comics are for everyone. But they are often mostly geared towards adolescents and adults.
Yeah,
right. But the comic book movies are like, we want to be able to take kids to go see them.
Exactly.
So it's like, you probably can't.
You can't just do that. But I think you can. I think you should. I think it's responsible to not worry about.
Yeah.
How kids are going to interpret real life.
Right. Or that you see a movie with a dog in it, a CG dog, and assume that it's probably aimed towards children.
Both times I saw Death to Smoochie in theaters, there were children in the theater because there was a man in a rhino costume on the poster.
Right. Now that could be we need to just educate.
Hilariously enough, there was two divorced dads. Like or just solo dads, but it was dads who I suspect because they were like, oh, I need to take my kids to a kids movie.
Yeah.
And then they left. By the way, like, I know guess in the comments down below what sequence they left at.
Sure.
It was both times. It was the same scene.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just need to
address something.
I need to address something because there's a person who's been like randomly saying things. You're not. I'm sorry, friend. You're not hearing us.
Right.
You're hearing what you want to hear because their quote, if I may, comics are not for kids. They're extremely violent. These people are crazy. My guy. I didn't say that.
Yeah, no one said that.
You can go back. It's YouTube. Go back.
Yeah, just roll it back.
You can hear what I said. I said, we try to make it where comics aren't for kids because they're really for adolescents or adults.
Yeah.
We make sure that people think that because too many times they are stereotyped as being for children. And yet comic book movies are often aimed towards
or sold to children.
You go back, you listen again.
Yeah.
You come back and join us in the future. Anyway, we keep going.
There's a Babu Frick in the movie. Great.
Yeah, of course.
No notes. No, I'm kidding. I think that was the moment where I could feel the audience pulling away from the movie.
Perhaps.
Was when Babu Frick showed up.
Maybe.
It might have been Seth Rogen. I don't know.
Yeah. And again, like, I had fun with this movie.
Yeah.
It's not this.
It ain't this.
It's not this. But this is a beautiful book.
And it did I think there were more people. There were more copies of this book printed for this movie than there were when it first was launched.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I'll see it again. It's a fun movie. I have no significant gripes about it. I can tell the difference between reality and fiction, and I know the difference between a comic book and a movie, and I can enjoy one or the other or both. You know?
Yeah.
And I hope that people can as well. What does it mean for the future of the DC universe? God only knows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Supergirl isn't the reason why the DC universe is going to die. It'll certainly be the Paramount acquisition, but we'll see. You know, like because we live in the absolute universe, we're just gonna have to wait and see. For every hammer that comes down, for every bad decision that's made. So I don't know. But but as far as Supergirl goes, you know, if you were on the fence or you're curious, check it out.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
and for God's sake, if you're worried about spending your money, like, go see a matinee.
Yeah.
But
or if you're like, you know what, like, you're not interested,
fine, buy the comic book and read it.
Comic.
You know what they did? They made a mini version of it, so you could pick up the compact edition as well if you're interested.
Absolutely. No, but seriously, like I said, like the fact that people are angry at all.
Oh my God.
That the movie isn't this book makes me so happy.
Right, because like it means
not because
you like it, you really like it.
Right, because like literally, like people have been slow to discover this book.
Yes.
I felt like that was when we would do the show, when we were like when I was reading that month to month as it was coming out. That was when I would notice the chat, because I do have the chat running, and I occasionally I will bomb in as like I'm like I'll even just glance down sometimes.
Yep.
Not all the
just
time.
To make sure there's no racial slurs being posted.
No, more or less to just be like, oh, are people talking? Like, what's going on?
What are they talking
But I remember glancing down several times while I was like, just being like, this is such a great book, and I love it, and here's why, and blah, blah, blah. People were talking about literally anything else.
Yeah.
And to now see people defending the book because the movie wasn't the book, it's just, I'm like the Grinch. My heart grew 3 sizes today. I'm telling you right now, like, I don't care what got us here.
Right.
I literally don't. Like, if even like 100 more people go out and get this book,
well, that'll move the needle.
Like it's
for the comics.
You know what I mean?
But no, it's true. No,
like,
it's
people
wonderful.
who like were like, I kind of like that. I'd like to know more about this. Or like if they went to like the AMC IMAX showing and they got this and they like opened it up and they're like,
holy shit,
this is gorgeous. I want. Where do I get this?
Yes.
Like, please, like
so
great.
Yeah.
So great.
Wonderful. And that's the hope, is that we can blur the line between comics and movies, and as much as like, you know, one isn't a springboard for the other, nor are they indistinguishable. They're each separate mediums, but they all complement each other. So you know, check it out.
I think here's the thing. I think there's room for both things to exist.
Yeah.
You know, it could be too that like from the get-go, I knew we were gonna get the book, and so I already went through all of it. Like when we heard like the Lobo thing.
Yeah, you were like, well, you knew we were gonna get Lobo. You were like, oh man, Lobo's gonna be in this.
I was like, this is over. Well, it's a different
dead, movie. Like,
right?
They're not gonna do it.
Right. So like I went in being like, whatever. Like whatever. Like, but like honestly, it was fun.
Yeah.
I liked Millie Alcock. I think she did a really great job. I like her characterization.
I'd like to see her in the future as Supergirl.
I did read someone mention that there was a potential, and maybe it's one of the super chats, so we'll probably come to it as well, that there was a potential issue in which the writer and director misinterpreted the end of this book. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Legitimately interesting. Yeah. I could see that being a problem, and just nobody said anything.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know where things are going to be going next for this universe. I would love to know what their plan.
It's another Superman movie.
Well, I meant for this character, because, like I said, like the movie indicates to me that she is a fledgling hero.
Right.
We don't know that for sure. Obviously, like she's done some stuff.
I think so,
but like more or less like by accident.
Yes,
seemingly.
I think she's just not. I think.
Yeah.
No.
So
she's only worn the suit twice.
Yeah.
Once at the cameo at the end of Superman, and another time in this movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Again,
what's our book of the week? It's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Pick it up. But what's our book of the week from like the comics that we reviewed from this week?
Okay. Yeah, that would be Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Yes, naturally. Because we read it again and it's great.
It's Helen of Windhorn. What's my book of the week? I think it's got to be Ultimate.
Ultimate Finale or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Ultimate
Universe finale.
Yeah, I liked dipping my toes back into that universe.
Oh yeah,
I had a
great
great
to
time.
see them all. Yeah, I guess I'm going to give it to Ultimate Universe finale. Although I want to give a special shout out to Superman number 30, whatever. So fun, but also we got more.
Mhm.
We got a little more from the creative teams that made us fall in love with that universe in the first place. Yeah, so let's read some super chats that are sponsoring today's show, and
Love
then
that.
we'll recommend some books that are coming out this week we think you should check out, because
Heck
the show
yeah, let's
is
keep
all
that.
about the
Let's
comics.
keep the conversation rolling. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness. Here we go. Matthew Sherlock says, I saw the movie. I liked it overall. I have problems with it, though. Two things in particular. One would be a spoiler for the other, or for the end, and the other is creme.
Fair enough.
I think we agree.
We agree.
I think we definitely agree. Somber Shadow says, ComicPop, woo, got a lot of superhero media coming out. Supergirl, Spider-Man, Lanterns, X-Men 97 Season 2, Cape Crusaders Season 2. We eating good.
That's right. I also heard that maybe Cape Crusaders canceled because the Absolute show. We'll see. I also forgot to mention that there's going to be a Joker anime coming out as well from DC Studios. It's another show they announced. Batman's dead, so Joker's tracking down who killed Batman, and it's from an anime studio.
That's weird.
Yes, not to mention Dynamic Duos, a movie about Jason Todd and Dick Grayson that they've been threatening since they first launched the universe.
Matt Sherlock back to say, Krem is boring and generic in this. His Hellraiser look is stupid, and find the, let's say, Epsteinification of his motivations to be uncomfortable.
It felt a little, honestly, I felt it was tacked on. I was like, all right, they're brigands. And they're like, also, they do this. And I'm like, all right.
I think they felt like they needed and again, that's where I'm talking about how it's like, and there's an undercurrent, because there is an undercurrent to that as well, much like there is in here.
Exactly.
They go to many a planet with many an issue.
Exactly. Yeah. At least it's not. It says ComicPop whispered. ComicPop. Can't wait for Krypton Academy episode on Supergirl. I liked it. My partner was more excited for this movie than Superman. Fair enough.
Nice.
I don't know which one I was more excited for, but I am.
Love that.
I understand.
MNNM says, really liked Supergirl. By the way, I recommend jumping back on Captain America if you haven't. Latest issue is a great jumping on point. Great. Cap and Doom are leading a revolution to liberate Hell from Mephisto. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, well, Steve's in Asgard, so it has to be Cap, but also Chip read that. I haven't read it yet. I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Okay.
Thank you for that recommendation. It's a great pitch.
High Voltage says, as a big Wonder Woman of Tomorrow fan, I read that as Wonder Woman. I don't know why. The movie was very disappointing. Never expected it to be 100% faithful, but why remove the gorgeous art direction? And what changed was changed for the worst.
When they made the biggest budgeted adaptation of Batman, they changed his effing logo. They're going to change things that they know they have influence on.
I understand what
I understand the complaint.
What High Voltage is saying for sure. The art direction of it all, I think that's to make it so that it's easier for the movies to
look the same.
Yes, and to be able to mesh with one another. But I do agree, because Bilky's voice is very loud.
If Bilky had
in a beautiful way,
like if Bilky was the head of art direction, it would have looked.
No, but
different.
I mean, like in the book, like Bilky's art is like hand in hand with the story, along with Lope's colors.
Absolutely.
Matt Sherlock, did my best to help Supergirl. Took my whole family. No matter what, I want them to keep making DC movies, if for no other reason than seeing a Green Arrow movie.
Dude, if only, man. I'm hoping we'll see Ollie at some point. They got to cast Ollie soon.
I'd love that. Irons Comics says, despite my current issues with Marvel and any cynicism that exists, I love the new Ultimate Universe, and no one can ever change that for me.
Yeah, I think it's earned people's affection, and I hope that the last page promise of the Ultimate Universe returning, despite that being antithetical to what editorial and the publishing house has said, is not a threat but a promise.
Matt Sherlock says, say what you will, at least Jason's Lobo and Crypto are awesome. Just wish they were in the movie more of the movie. Hope Lobo comes back and fights Peacemaker.
I would take a Peacemaker versus Lobo. Meta Knights.
I'm very much looking for, like, as much as I don't like Lobo, him meeting this like Corn Sweat's version of Superman.
Yes, please.
Meta Knight says, if you had to create a Fantastic Four with only X-Men characters, whom would you choose to be on the team?
I don't know. Beast.
I was gonna say, Hank McCoy, 100%.
I don't know.
Who do you got?
I guess Sunspot as Johnny.
Okay.
He's fire.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Glob as the Thing
Really?
because he's a bit because he's
I was like Colossus.
yeah, fine. But Glob's more like he's got a heart.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know, like Emma,
Or Kitty, or
Kitty, yeah, Kitty.
it's kind of hard because you got to do do you have to do the relationship, or are they just the Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I think it's just the Fantastic.
Okay. Straw Hat Devil says, ComicPop, woo!
Woo!
Tuesday Warrior, able to catch you guys live because I'm on vacation.
Thanks,
Happy
bud. Appreciate
vacation. Thanks for the many hours you've helped me get through work. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you, man. Thank you so much.
Irons Comics says, hi, Sal. What didn't you like about Ultimates?
The writing and the tone and the theming. It has the subtlety of a freight train, which is fine. But
the subtlety of a freight train?
Yeah. I don't know.
I like that description.
And that Thor issue where it was like all like a poem, and it was just like I just couldn't. It was just very poorly written.
Okay. Cat Laura will defend for treat says, I wouldn't be surprised if the lesson Marvel learned was that calling something ultimate sells and we get another Ultimate Universe in 3 or 4 years.
Maybe. I don't know. I think they'll be afraid of creating another universe. The Midnight Line notwithstanding, because that's like we'll see how that goes too.
Joshy says Nicole Maines and Jadzia Axelrod's co-written Justice League Dreamgirls was great. Can't wait to see what both write next. Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month to you too, Joshy.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to pick that up. I know that book exists out there. Like I kept seeing like these awesome covers for it. So maybe when it's all collected, I might grab that.
That sounds great.
Mo Show says, I dislike DCU heroes in Gunn's universe killing.
Mm-hmm.
It undermines what made them compelling and shuts the door on stories like Under the Red Hood, Injustice, etc., which depends on their refusal to kill.
But they still exist, and so you can enjoy them that way. I think Supergirl is a different animal from Superman when it comes to their morality and their approaches to things. And I'm sure when Batman eventually shows up, he'll also be averse to killing.
Yeah. Arduit says, taking this episode off for no Supergirl spoilers, but ComicPop, were there any Wonder Woman animated projects like good for ab bats, but absolute Wonder Woman's right there?
Yeah. They made a Wonder Woman movie, an animated movie that's great.
No, but like in the future.
I know. Oh no, he said where's. Like, where is it?
Oh yeah.
And it's like because they're afraid of it.
Oh yeah.
I think because they did make it. They made a Wonder Woman animated movie. It was great, and it didn't do well, so they didn't make any more.
Right.
They're afraid of it, and I think based on Supergirl's performance, maybe they're right to be afraid, which I think is the wrong lesson. But yeah, I would like to see more.
Nova says y'all should check out Underwater Welder. It's by Lemire, and I think it's his best. Sorry, I've been busy, but graduated college and turned 26 last month.
Congratulations
and happy birthday,
Excelsior, man!
But also congratulations, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Arduit says, I love that we're seeing in real time Soup's power to change people for the better. In Raish and Carter, it's almost a physical power being displayed. Agreed.
I can imagine that being Aaron's approach, where he's like, no, his real power is to be able to change hearts.
Yes. Matt Sherlock's back to say, Supergirl got $100 million in tie-in money, stuff like fast food and branded dog food, so it'll be fine financially. Box office is not everything.
That's true. That's
fair.
True.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm hoping for the best.
Fingers crossed. Great Devlin says, I was disappointed that we didn't allow a greater audience to experience the horrors and subsequent meaning of Purple Tent. Otherwise, I enjoyed it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally get that. I agree. But I would want a not watered down version of that. And again, just thinking about the audience that they were trying to sell
and the tone of this movie.
But I wholeheartutely agree, which is why I'm always like,
just read the book.
Read the book.
Yeah, someone in our comments for something said something like it ruined the comic, and I'm like, but I still have my copy. I don't know about you. I don't know if James Gunn snuck into your house and burned your copies, but mine are still here. You can see them. They were giving them away at the movie theater. But yeah, no,
it's one of those where you can get more, which is why I like.
You can get more. It's like the Sonic.
Yes. But I totally agree because that story, is like Purple Town and so incredible.
Yep.
Like as you're figuring it out along with her.
Yeah.
Telephonic says, hot take, I really like the movie. I understand there were execution issues and I wish it was a little more faithful. However, I loved it.
That's pretty much my review, where it's like, yeah, there's a couple things, but otherwise I still enjoyed it, and it's still a movie. Like,
Warrior Demon Dante says, hey, ComicPop family, I haven't seen Supergirl yet, but not going to lie, a part of me wants a 1-to-1 comic book adaptation. However, everyone should know that all we are ever getting are comic book head nods / appearances.
More or less. There's some tonality that I think you'll still get, but it's like, the thing is, and I think it's something that I addressed earlier in the episode, which is just like, it doesn't need a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's made.
Yeah.
Like Supergirl Win Tomorrow is already perfect. It's a comic book. It doesn't need like a cartoon or a movie or anything to legitimize it.
No, it doesn't need anything to legitimize it. I mean, would I have taken?
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to do that, like
an
on screen,
animated.
Oh yeah, beautifully animated. Maybe they got like
in her style,
Yes.
like to see that come to life, like
to move and stuff,
would be spectacular.
Yeah,
if she was art directing it and like Tom King was overseeing the scripting on it,
Yeah.
like yes, that's what I would
Sure.
like.
They were never going to do that, but they are going to do that for Mr. Miracle, which I think is interesting. So maybe they could. What?
Well, not now.
Well, that's
Matt Sherlock says superhero movies are going nowhere. They'll just be fewer.
Well, we'll see.
Telphonic's back to say, I really loved everybody's characterizations, and I really think it did have the spirit of the book.
That's fair.
Agreed. Ahmed Jihad says, how is it morning for me and night for you?
I don't know. That's just how time works, man. Depends on where you are in the world, I guess. But thank you.
Scororo says, after Supergirl was over, a lady sitting next to me asked me if I liked it. I told her it was all right, and she just laughed. Overall, the movie was flawed, but fun experience.
Okay.
Agreed?
Yeah.
Like, yes.
That's an interesting take.
No, I meant like
I don't know what she means by that. Like, what does she mean by laughing? You know what I mean?
Like, it was all right. Like, yeah.
Right.
Like,
all right. Well,
agreed.
nice.
Tea Time says, thoughts on the Bane Deathstroke movie seemingly being the next DCU movie after Man of Tomorrow.
Pass. I don't care about Bane or Deathstroke. I don't think their pairing sounds exciting. I'm not interested.
Nachiket Naik says, my gripe, Supergirl should have been all ages. Give the young girls a character they can rally for. They made K-pop Demon Hunters a hit.
Yeah.
You just have to not do this book then.
That's not the thing.
And that's fine. But I'm like, if they decided to take the character in that direction,
right,
that could have also potentially worked.
I agree.
High Voltage says, to add on what you said and what I said earlier, I do think this movie misses the spirit of the book. The change in the ending in particular.
That's fair.
The ending to this book to me was always a little ambiguous too.
Yes.
Because
it's about story and it's about
because don't forget at the end.
Yes.
It's hard to tell. Did we just read Ruthie's book?
Right?
Or did we read the actual?
Yeah. What happened? I don't know.
Right? Hulkzilla says, a lesson I took too long to learn is never expect a one-to-one adaptation of a story. Movies take stuff from books and rework them, allowing them to be their own thing. If people want the source material, they can read the books.
Absolutely.
Agreed. Now, listen. I'm gonna make sure that everybody knows that I'm also a hypocrite, right?
Oh, sure,
because like with this, I'm just like, okay, listen, I think that this there was enough of the spirit of the book there to get people interested to go get the book, right? Now, on another separate conversation, talking about the Silent Hill movies, and I will tell you how wrong all of those are, even though the internet would tell me I'm wrong.
Right. Because they're like, no, it honors the spirit of the game.
And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's horrible.
Right. But like, and so like, I understand that like, I have a super passion for this book, but I guess I'm looking at it from I just hope more people read it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I liked this version of Supergirl that we got in the movie as well.
Yeah,
anyway, Maximum Spider says, seeing how we leave Kara at the end of the movie, her dynamic between her and Clark and Man of Tomorrow is going to be very interesting.
I know. I'm excited.
I agree. The Telvonic's back again to say tinfoil hat theory. They're going to make her a Red Lantern.
I think they did it in the comics. I don't think they'll do it in this.
That's funny because I suggested they were going to do the Dark Side Supergirl story with Superman.
Which I would like to see. That's fine.
Because I was like, she could be primed for that.
Right, because that was your pitch. It was don't do like a Justice League movie right away.
Yeah.
Don't do a Batman versus Superman. Do Superman, Batman, Apocalypse.
Right, and since we're already getting a Mr. Miracle story.
Right, we can establish that Bart is there and that like they go to Apocalypse and they have to save Supergirl. That'd be great.
Handsome Ransom says, aloha.
Aloha.
Chances DC gives us absolute Alfred Burma.
Was it Burma? I mean, probably pretty good, right? As long as Scott writes it.
Oh my gosh. Telphonics back to say thank you again, saying, Tiff, thank you for sharing this book with my partner and myself. It's what got her into comics when it was coming out.
That's
Yay!
awesome,
I'm so glad. I love that. And then Ben New in Space says, does it bother you that people are being so harsh? I have my problems with it, but I'm worried we won't get to see it grow.
I am worried that we won't get to see it grow. I don't necessarily care like how harsh people are. My issue is with the grift
And that's really what it is. Like, if you
and
have
the manipulation. Like, people might not necessarily hate it, but they are made to hate it based on like an engine that is like just shoving hate in their face.
Right. Here's the thing. Listen, if you loved it, great. Hopefully you love it because you legitimately reacted to it and not because you're trying to hype it up. But hopefully you did. If you hated it because it like you saw a bunch of things you didn't like, or you didn't like the story, or you didn't like whatever, totally of your own volition, that's how you feel about it, that's fine too. Yeah. Whatever. We can have a conversation about it, but like that's fine. If you're in the middle where you're just kind of like, I liked it, but I feel like it had some issues and you want to be critical of it, that's great as well.
Yeah.
If you are like listening to us right now and consuming what we're saying and then taking it and synthesizing your own thoughts on it, that's how you should be. That's what you should be doing. You should be taking things that we say and go like, do I agree with that? Does that have validity? Do I think that that's right? Do I have a different opinion on that? And then make your own version of that opinion, or make a totally different opinion. That's what this relationship should be, right?
Yes, exactly.
If you are instead watching something and then just repeating what people say, because you don't want to come up with your own thoughts on it,
or you want to like,
we need to work on some literacy in terms of media
critical thinking skills.
And yes, that 100%. But yeah, that's my concern about that, where I'm just like, if people have criticisms of it,
knock yourself out.
And like, and like, you're like, this is what I didn't like, this is why I didn't like it.
Right. But like, yeah, somebody early on was like genuinely surprised you liked it. And it was like, I don't know what about me or you says that you'd be genuinely like, that's such a like, you're so close to realizing something. It's like, I'm genuinely surprised you liked it. It's like, I'm genuinely surprised that you're genuinely surprised by that. Like, it's almost like you're in an echo chamber.
RLC Comics. Tiff, would you do another back issues on Brian K. Vaughan's Runaways? My first exposure to them was from your back issues, and I read the rest of the run right after it.
Awesome.
We really hadn't thought about it, honestly, and not like for any other reason other than
you did that first volume.
Yeah, just did not cross my mind.
No, and it did fine.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe
we got one more.
Oh my god.
Daniel.
Hospitales.
Thank you so much. I was like, I don't know how to break this up. Thank you so much. I cried at one point.
That's great. I'm glad that it affected you in a profound way.
Me too.
Let's recommend some comics.
I would love to do that.
Here we go, baby.
And I do have them.
Yeah, me too.
I'm totally prepared here.
Well, Batman 11 is coming out. That's gonna be exciting. Absolute Martian Manhunter 12, the end of Absolute Martian Manhunter, the first Absolute series to end outside of one shots.
Wow. And are we all not seeing the like Klimtian cover here?
Oh yeah,
the Klimtian reference here for that. Very cool.
That's Rodriguez for you.
Very cool. Very cool. What else you got?
Oh my god, Fantastic Four 13 has a cover that says not Ghost Rider but an incredible simulation, and it looks like it's Danny, but like who knows what that means. I just thought that was funny.
It does look. It also looks like Cosmic.
Yeah, or it could be anything. Iron Man 7 is coming out. That's a fun series. I enjoy.
The Dead Man #2.
Yes.
I actually really like the first issue of that. So I gotta check out the next one.
I do well enough.
That's very fair.
Marvel Swimsuit Special brand new Beach Day #1 is dropping. If you like seeing pretty folk in swimsuits, check it out.
That really came out of left field. I don't know why.
Yeah. I forgot to read Supergirl Survive. I'm interested. I'll need to check it out. It's an Elseworld series.
Okay. Are you gonna do What If
Secret Wars #1? Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out as well.
Absolutely. At some point, I got to catch up on either the Thor book or the Hulk book. I don't know. At some point, I got to give it a shot.
DCX Sonic the Hedgehog: The Metal Legion #3 is a series I'm still reading, so I will have to read the 3rd issue of that.
I
guess that's that. No, there's more.
Oh my gosh! Yes, Event Horizon Inferno #3. Love that book.
Avengers JLA #2 is coming out. Please pick up the series. You'll get some beautiful, it's facsimile edition, beautiful covers. My shop didn't have it. I can't pre-order it for some reason. So I hope everyone else enjoys the series while I am sitting here like an idiot, not reading it.
Did you call around to shops?
They don't mail
Well, I mean, you could just go get it.
If you like Power Rangers, you should check out Power Rangers Unlimited #1 from Kenny Porter and Joey Esposito and Alessio Zono. This series is going to be very deep cut and also surprising and cool and crazy. The art, I've seen it. It's phenomenal. Check it out.
Love it.
Oh my God. There's a
Oh yeah, I saw that. So DC's putting out a WIP, work in progress, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow reprint of issue 1. And so essentially you'll be able to see, I think, the artwork in different forms.
Yeah.
Is my understanding of it, or it's going to be just in the uncolored state.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It is oversized.
Ooh. As well it should be.
It is oversized, but it is just the regular issue. So I'm guessing what it's going to be is this issue without colors and big.
And bigger.
So if you like her artwork, you get to find out if you actually like her artwork or if you like the artwork colored. Which I like both. Yeah. So
you're in luck.
Go get it. Go get it. It's going to be a tome.
Yes.
Said someone else. I like that.
Chrome Seraph says, I personally felt that Lobo was only added by the studio to get more men in the movie. He wasn't needed. I don't think he was needed, but he didn't feel completely wholesale tacked on. It was more like, we're expanding the universe. We have a place for him. Let's put him in here. I was okay with it. Yeah. Might be me just like wanting Lobo in the movie. I don't know.
I get it.
I was like, it didn't hurt the movie for me. I can't say whether or not it hurt or helped because we don't have a version of it without, other than the book, which doesn't have him. It doesn't need him. Yeah. But I do kind of agree a little bit that there's other reasons why he was put in there. Oh yeah. Yes. That's a fair point. Yes. Yeah. If you want to watch Tiffany more, she plays video games on YouTube.com.
I didn't last week. I'm sorry I took off and I didn't tell anybody like a big jerk.
You needed your time. That was for you. But if you are not already subscribed, go to youtube.com/@ComicPopPlays, where you can check out all of our streams, hundreds of hours of gameplay, including every Batman game under the sun, every Spider-Man game under the sun, every you played Oblivion Song or whatever the hell that game was. What it was called, the Elder Signs. I don't know.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. There you go. There was a French game you played. I don't know.
Clair Obscur.
Clair Obscur. There you go. You a lot of games under there. Check it out if you haven't already. But check her out typically on Wednesdays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays. But last Wednesday she had to shoot an episode of Back Issues, which is coming out this Wednesday. I'm very excited about it. It'll be up on patreon.com/ComicPop, where you can get everything we do, and you won't miss a thing. We have 3 different channels. This channel here, ComicPop Returns, our main channel, youtube.com/ComicPop, and of course ComicPop Plays. All 3 of those channels produce content on the weekly, and of course if you go to patreon.com/ComicPop, you won't miss that, and you'll also get bonus shows. For example, there's another YouTuber named DJ Woolrich who makes Only Stupid Answers and DJ Talks Trash. He and I do an MCU rewatch series and more, and there's an exclusive Patreon show where we are watching every single MCU movie in chronological or release order. That's awesome. That show is exclusive to Patreon, so you can check that out on odd days and whatever. And also a behind the curtain behind the curtain Comic Pop infrastructure podcast. So much there. But
we're all kind of chuckling about Elden Signs. We love that. I love that name.
That board game we played. It's
Elder Signs.
I know.
Oblivion Song is a Kirkman comic, as someone pointed out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I got a lot of crap rattling up there.
I love Elden Signs. I don't know what that is, but I'm here for it.
Besides, watch or play video games. Otherwise, like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, and check out Back Issues on Wednesday. Anything else you want to plug besides Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is on shelves now? You can check it out in multiple varieties of formats. There's a deluxe edition, a soft cover edition, a pocket edition, or under smaller sized edition.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Or if you've already read this, or whatever, but you have someone in your life who saw the movie, get this as a gift for them.
Yeah, it will be a gift.
Because if they're not aware, if for some reason they're not aware that it was a comic book, get it as a gift.
Definitely.
Get it as a gift. Do it up.
Yeah.
Come on.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next week on another episode. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.